I'd been with my boyfriend for 6 years. On our engagement day, right in front of all the guests, he put the ring on my sister's hand. In my anger, I got with his archenemy, Jason. My name is Melody. I'm the eldest daughter of one of the wealthy families in City A, the Smiths. I have a sister named Anna. Even though blood is thicker than water, Anna doesn't like me. Before I showed up, she was the only daughter of the Smiths. After I showed up, she became the second daughter of the Smiths. When I was 6 years old, I got lost, and it took 10 years to return to the Smiths. The day I came home, Anna pretended to faint, turning the family dinner that was supposed to welcome me into her own main event. Everyone forgot about my existence and rushed to take care of Anna. I felt awkward, clutching my shabby clothes, looking at the grand house, all in chaos. Anna lay in my dad's arms, giving me a sly smile as if to say, "See, what difference does it make that you're back?" Over the next 6 years, the relationship between Anna and me got worse. She relied on her frailty and liked to see people force me to back down to prove she was better. But every time, I didn't care, watching her fuss with detachment. When things didn't go her way, she would mock me coldly, asking why I came back to the Smiths if I was so proud. I stayed silent, looking at the man standing a little further away. Louis stood under the lush evergreen tree, tall and handsome, with gentle features like a painting. Before returning to the Smiths, he was my senior in school, excellent and out of reach. And I was someone rolling in the mud, covered in dirt, destined not to deserve happiness. I thought it was impossible between us. But fate gave me a chance. Once given, I held on tight. So, no matter how Anna treated me, I could endure it. All I wanted was the identity of the eldest daughter of the Smiths and an engagement with Louis, but I never expected, after 6 years of chasing Louis, he wasn't mine in the end. The engagement party was imminent. Anna cornered me, wearing the wedding dress originally meant for me, with a mocking smile, "Melody, just watch me marry Louis in your place today." I turned pale, all the color draining from my face. I wanted to tear Anna's wedding dress apart, questioning how she could be so cruel. But when I turned around, my mother Susan stopped me. "Melody, Mom knows you've been wronged, but there's no way around it. If she can't marry Louis, she'll kill herself." How could Mom bear it? "She's been frail and sickly since childhood, you have to give in to her a bit." My whole body trembled, a huge gash seemed to open in my chest. My mother's words were like sharp blades stabbing every corner of my heart, leaving no place untouched. I finally understood why my mother insisted on having Anna's name on the engagement invitation instead of mine. Melody, it turned out they had planned every detail. I looked at my mother in disbelief. How could you be so biased towards Anna? I staggered and pushed the door open. The engagement party had already started. I looked at Louis, begging with my eyes. But he just looked at me once, then calmly placed the flowers in Anna's hand and the engagement ring. This move was like a slap, forcing back all the questions I wanted to ask. It turned out he knew all along. Susan, who followed closely behind, held me down. "Melody, don't make a scene. If you make a fuss, it'll embarrass both families." Dad William looked troubled. "Melody, you and Anna are both our children. What's done is done, don't argue with your sister. Your parents will make it up to you." Again, the same thing. Ridiculous, but unsurprising. The feeling from when I was 16 rushed back. Whether I returned or not, whether I was their daughter or not, they always chose Anna. I was just a joke. I trembled with anger, clenching my fists tightly. More and more people were watching my embarrassment. Anna laughed happily. Louis held her waist, a perfect match. No one cared about my feelings. I couldn't make a scene. In the 6 years since returning home, I worked hard to learn various knowledge to be worthy of Louis, including etiquette and emotional intelligence, just to be a graceful and dignified lady. So I couldn't confront Louis and Anna in front of so many prominent people in City A. I could only accept everything silently, then later become the laughingstock of the whole city. But I was jealous. Jealous after 6 years by Louis's side, he never smiled at me. Also jealous, he so easily accepted Anna by his side. Did he ever consider my feelings even a little? I stared at Louis, my eyes gradually reddening. Louis was indifferent, even putting his arm around Anna's shoulder as if to kiss her in what was supposed to be my engagement party. My shredded heart seemed to catch the biting cold wind, sweeping away any remaining warmth. I felt faint, biting my lip to maintain my composure. But just as Louis wrapped his arm around Anna's shoulder, ignoring my existence, ready to kiss her amid everyone's cheers, there was a burst of exclamations, not for the couple before them, but for the man who suddenly appeared behind me. After the exclamations, there was a pin-drop silence. No one dared speak, everyone held their breath, almost not believing their eyes. When Jason wrapped his arm around me from behind, I was still looking at the couple on stage. Not until a broad palm covered my eyes, blocking my view, did I snap back. He wouldn't let me take his hand away, dominantly keeping my eyes covered. But it also hid my misery, my tears were about to fall. He had a mischievous look, leaning close to my ear, ignoring the crowd's gaze, his voice lazy, "Haven't I given you enough flowers?" Or he got closer, his husky voice full of indulgence, "Do you like rings? Come get a marriage certificate with me, and I'll give you a big beautiful diamond ring every day, okay?" I didn't answer him, and I had no idea how others around me saw me. I just knew that the mocking and gossiping voices disappeared. All I could hear was Jason's strong and steady heartbeat and his teasing yet charming voice, "I can give you what Louis can give you. And I can give you what Louis can't give you too. Melody, don't go with Louis, come with me, will you?" Jason was whispering temptations in my ear, ignoring everyone else. I suppressed my swirling emotions, calmed my mind, and returned to my composed and elegant self. Then I pulled away his warm, hot hand and said, "Jason, stop messing around." "I'm not messing around," Jason said, suddenly gripping my hand tighter. To my surprise, he leaned down and brushed his face against my cheek, asking again, "Melody, come with me, will you?" "Melody, you and Jason?" A sweet, innocent voice sounded in my ear somehow. Louis and Anna had already walked up to us. I glanced at Louis, whose eyes, usually showing no emotion, now held a deep, dark hue. With just a few words, Anna managed to turn all the attention onto me. Everyone knew I, Melody, was Louis's fiancée. But now, here I was, being so intimate with Jason. Instantly, everyone's gaze turned judgmental. They all seemed to forget that just a moment ago, Anna had brazenly taken Louis from me in front of everyone. Not only did they not condemn her, but they even offered blessings, cheering for the mistress who stole someone else's fiancé. But now, they were here to judge me? I took a deep breath, barely containing my anger, and laughed coldly. "Anna, what position are you in to question me? Even if there were something between Jason and me, it's not your place to interfere." Anna, seeing my blunt retort, put on an innocent, delicate act. "Melody, are you blaming me? I know I'm wrong, but I couldn't control my heart." "I'm sorry, Melody." Enough. Every word from Anna made me feel disgusted. I didn't even have the desire to watch her performance. Jason lazily lifted his eyes to glance at Anna, his tone icy and mocking. "Don't act like a victim while taking advantage of every situation." Anna's perfect composure finally cracked. She looked like she wanted to lash out but held back because of the crowd, ultimately hiding behind Louis with a grievance. Jason wrapped his arm around my shoulder and turned away, looking so rebellious and arrogant that others, although curious, didn't dare to look closely. Only Louis, when I walked past him, he grabbed my wrist. I wasn't sure if it was my imagination, but Louis, whose voice was always gentle and calm, now sounded a bit angry. "Melody, when did you get together with Jason?" "What? Did he say that as if I had betrayed him?" Before I could respond, Jason, annoyed, stared at the place where Louis and I were touching and said, "Let go." Louis didn't move. Anna looked like she was facing a great enemy. She was wary of Jason's status and was also nervous about how Louis questioned me. She took a step forward, grabbing Louis's arm and deliberately saying, "Louis, let's not ask this now. If this gets big, it won't be good for Melody's reputation." She lowered her voice, pretending to be considerate of me, but the room was so silent that everyone could hear what she said. Jason frowned, exuding menace. Ugly woman, what nonsense are you spouting? Anna immediately shrank back, looking extremely aggrieved. Louis shielded Anna, coldly glaring at Jason. Show some respect. As soon as those words left his mouth, Jason threw a punch. Everyone gasped, and Anna screamed. Jason's punch was brutal. Louis, unguarded, staggered back and let go of my wrist. Jason sneered, kicked aside a bothersome table, pulled me protectively into his arms, and then grabbed a napkin to gently and meticulously wipe my wrist as if he hadn't just thrown a punch. I looked up at Jason, whose expression was still rebellious and fierce. I was about to scold Jason for hitting someone when I saw Louis readying himself to punch back. Careful! I shouted in alarm. Jason, still holding my wrist, said, don't let Louis touch you. Then he turned and started fighting Louis. Two men, refusing to give an inch. The elegant, lively engagement party turned chaotic. Jason was so wild and reckless that no one could stop him. And Louis, usually so composed, seemed to be going mad today. Anna screamed repeatedly, and the guests were too scared to intervene, hiding to the side. The security didn't dare to interfere. Neither Jason nor Louis was someone they could afford to provoke. Jason, stop fighting. I reached out to stop him, but in the middle of the fight, Jason looked back at me. Stay there and don't move. If I don't beat him up today, I won't call myself Jason. Just look at you. A perfectly good engagement party, and you've turned it into this. Susan glared at me in rage since she couldn't stop the fight. William looked worried too. Why are they fighting? What happened to the engagement party? My hand froze midair. If it were Anna's engagement party being disrupted, my parents would be the ones stepping in now, right? The guests' differing attitudes earlier were entirely due to my parents' treatment of me. Yet, Jason stood up for me, and they thought he was causing trouble. Because I ruined Anna's engagement party? But this was my engagement party to begin with. Jason. I lowered my head and called Jason's name, trying to calm him down, but it didn't work. Jason was enraged. I had no choice but to step in front of him just as he was about to throw another punch. His fierce fist stopped just a centimeter from my face. Jason furrowed his brow. Didn't I tell you to stay put? Then he softened, his voice laced with frustration and tenderness. What if you got hurt? I took this chance to grab his arm, tears welling up in my eyes. Jason, stop. I'm exhausted. I want to leave here. Jason suddenly froze. The fist he'd been ready to swing dropped. He cupped my face. Melody, did I make you mad? No, I just want to leave. I pulled Jason's sleeve. I don't want to see anyone now. Jason quickly kicked aside the tables and chairs in the way. Let's go, no more fighting. But Louis still wouldn't give up. He grabbed my arm again. I took a deep breath and yanked Louis's hand off while Jason was on the verge of losing it. Louis initially refused to let go, so I used all my strength and slapped him. His handsome face turned to the side. Anna screamed, and I sneered, Louis, what are you doing now? Are you pretending? Didn't you hand that ring to Anna just 10 minutes ago? Louis's face stayed turned, his thin lips tightly pressed together. Anna clung to him fiercely, as if afraid I might take him away. I didn't know how they made a deal to switch the fiancé to Anna. But seeing the two of them standing together, I felt like my past was a joke. I gave up dancing, which I loved, to study finance, wanting to be a suitable wife for Louis. I knew Louis had stomach issues from his early work years. I learned to cook many different dishes, making meals for him every day. Louis wanted to focus on his career, so I learned to drink and accompanied him in socializing with businessmen. When Louis got sick, I took on all his work so he could rest. But when he got better and I fell ill, he never looked at me. Louis. From the moment he saved me at 16, my whole life was about Louis. It seemed like I only lived for him. I naively thought that if I was good enough, he would eventually be moved by me, but in the end, I realized I was only moved by myself. What a fool. I looked up at Louis. Louis, happy engagement. Congratulations on getting what you wanted. Do you still like him now? On the empty beach, Jason recalled what I had just said to Louis, running a hand through his hair in frustration. You woman, I stood up for you in front of everyone, and you still wished Louis well? Jason was furious. To him, Louis was a jerk, and I shouldn't have been so nice to Louis. One slap isn't enough, you should have beaten Louis till he cried out for his mommy. I sat on the rocky shore, sighing helplessly. I don't plan to like him anymore. I've been a backup long enough. I just wanted to give closure to my feelings of so many years. I spoke casually, but the pain in my heart seemed to seep into my bones. Removing someone you've loved for years from your life is like peeling away the skin and muscle. The beer cans beside me emptied one after another, yet the pain hardly eased. All right, I'll trust you for now. Jason kicked a small stone aside and sat next to me. What are you going to do next? I don't want to go to work anymore. My current job is at the Smith's company, and they have a partnership with Louis. I don't want to see him again. Jason moved closer, his charming eyes shimmering. That's great. How about you come work for me? Before I could respond, he shook his head. No, you're too precious. I should just take care of you. Melody, want me to take care of you? Before finishing, Jason shamelessly leaned on me. I crushed the can in my hand and pushed him away. Do you misunderstand me? Me, Melody, precious? Saying Anna is precious might explain it, but me, Melody, I've been toughing it out for years, never associated with anything precious. Jason seemed unconcerned, finding nothing wrong with what he said. Of course, you seem like someone who needs protection. He smiled at me. Melody, from the first moment I saw you, I thought you should be cherished. I froze, then awkwardly averted my gaze. Don't use your flirting tricks on me. I stood up, picking up the empty beer bottles, and waved at Jason. Thanks for today. I owe you one. Jason grabbed me in a few steps, his eyes intense. Melody, I wasn't flirting. I'm serious. Thank you for being serious. I sighed lightly, subtly pushing his arm away. Jason, you are a really good person, but we're not right for each other. Thank you, though. Without him, I might have truly broken down and done something more degrading. But Louis and Anna aren't worth it. And Jason shouldn't get involved. Jason stared at me, the hidden fury almost surfacing. First time I'd been handed the good person card? Melody, I can be very bad. Aren't you afraid of retaliation? I tossed the garbage into the bin. Jason, you're not that immature. Those outside opinions are just biases against you. Jason fell silent. As I turned to leave, he grabbed me again. Melody, I know what you're thinking. I don't mind your history with Louis. You should give yourself a chance. I froze, remaining silent for a long time. When you've liked someone for a long time without response, you can't tell if it's love or just a fixation. But either way, I can't just jump into a relationship with Jason. It wouldn't be fair. Jason deserves better. So I turned back, shook my head. Forget it. I'm heading home. I walked away without looking back at Jason's lonely figure. Home, I needed to go home. Even though I'd been absent from the engagement party for 5 hours, not a single worried call from family. As soon as I got home, before even entering, I heard Anna's low sobs. It's all my fault, otherwise Melody wouldn't have caused such a scene with Jason. Bastard. When did she start hanging out with that jerk from the Johnson family? My dad slammed the table angrily. When did we, the Smiths, ever associate with people like that? It's disgraceful. I couldn't hold back. I pushed the door open. Dad, don't say that about Jason. He's a good person. You think Jason is a good person? Melody, have you lost your mind? Susan, who was comforting Anna, suddenly looked up and pointed at me. You're letting us down. If you feel wronged, just say so. Why demean yourself by being with Jason? Do you see what you did to today's engagement party? I didn't want to explain what happened at the engagement party, but I also didn't want to hear my parents speak ill of Jason. For the first time, the usually obedient me couldn't resist arguing back. Mom, Jason is not a bad person, and I'm not demeaning myself. It's you who have been demeaning your daughter all along, isn't it? You didn't stop Louis from switching the engagement, and you even supported it, just because it was Anna, right? It's you who don't see me as your daughter. It's you who demean me. A slap landed on my face without warning. I staggered back, catching a glimpse of Anna's gloating expression. William nonchalantly withdrew his hand, his expression cold. Your Melody. We felt guilty because you were lost for so many years. We indulged you, that's our fault. But you can't treat your sister like that. There must be a reasonable explanation for this. I held my face, listening to his words. You will release a statement saying Anna and Louis have always been in love. You pursued Louis for a long time but decided to give up, wanting to surprise Anna at the engagement party. And as for him, it was all a misunderstanding. I was in disbelief. Releasing such a statement would be admitting I was the mistress, right? William really wanted me to do this? Susan came over with a troubled look. Melody, there's no other way. You have to think of your sister. Anna is getting married, your Melody, so you should look out for her. We can't let Anna be confused like this. Had they ever considered my feelings at all? Was I, Melody, supposed to be the one who always compromised? Mom, is this what you call making amends? Making amends by sacrificing my happiness? I sneered, no one can be bullied by you forever. I won't release the statement. It's not happening. Bastard. We're informing you, not asking. William tried to slap me again, but Susan stopped him, looking at me with difficulty. Calm down. We were inconsiderate. Melody, go rest. We'll think it over. I didn't say a word and turned to my room. I didn't know how long had passed when the noise downstairs subsided. My swollen face hurt so much, I decided to get some ice from the fridge. Melody. Mom's voice came from behind. She was holding a bowl of soft-boiled eggs, pulling me to sit on the couch. Your dad hit you too hard today. I'm sorry on his behalf. I stayed silent while Mom peeled the eggs, wrapping one in a cloth to apply to my face. She muttered, Melody, you look so pretty. You must take care of your face. Your dad hit you too hard. I'll scold him when he cools down. Mom, why did you bring me back if you don't like me? I couldn't hold back any longer and stared at the eggs in the bowl. While liking Louis was one thing, the truth is if they hadn't brought me back, I wouldn't have returned. Susan paused, putting down the egg and holding my hand gently. We didn't mean to make you feel this way. We do like you, Melody. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gone through so much to find you. But you're both our daughters. What should we do? Mom, you've never considered that I may not end up with Jason. What if I get shunned too? No way. They wouldn't. In a moment of panic, Susan's words almost came out. Yeah, even though Jason's family was vast and influential, they were as isolated as wolves, rarely mingling with anyone else. Their family relations were a mess. So, even if I released the statement, confirming I interfered in Louis and Anna's relationship and later married Jason as a mistress, he couldn't shun me because his family was already in chaos. I stood up. Mom, I'm going to bed. You should rest too. Melody, please. Seeing my firm stance, Susan finally couldn't hold back. Your dad and I worked so hard raising you. You're strong and capable, you'll be fine anywhere. But Anna, she's spoiled. In her future home, one little slip and she won't have anything left. We can't tarnish her reputation. I paused. Instead of getting angry, I felt like laughing. A few hours ago, what did Jason say? He must be blind. What delicate flower. I'm the one who's not delicate. I rubbed my eyes. Mom, think about my situation from my perspective before you talk to me about this again. I won't compromise anymore just to make you happy. I placed the egg back in the bowl, because no matter what I do, you'll never understand my feelings, will you? Susan was speechless, and I went back to my room, exhausted, couldn't sleep the whole night. When I woke up the next day, my head hurt badly. But work had to go on, so I dragged my swollen head to the office. Is there anything worse than having your ex as your business partner? I had to interact with the head of the Lou Corporation all day. The engagement party scandal was the talk of the town, and both companies were eyeing me and Louis. But luckily, Louis and I shared some work rapport. Despite the slight awkwardness, we managed to get things done smoothly. After all, before graduating from college, I interned at Louis's company. That's when I learned to drink and took on all the work for him. In a blink, it's been a long time since then. Our collaboration ended well, and someone suggested we go for dinner. I sat in a corner, dazed, watching Louis's figure. His slight frown probably meant his stomach was acting up again. My colleague Joy sat beside me, whispering in my ear, "Still looking at Louis? I bet with them you'd end up with Jason. If you keep looking at Louis, I'm gonna lose the bet." I took my eyes off Louis, feeling bored. "Why are you betting on me and Jason?" "I saw the news. I think Jason is no less than Louis." "Aren't you afraid of Jason?" I asked, trying to kill time. "He's fierce and often scolds people." "Do you really want me with Jason?" "So what if he's fierce? A man who's fierce with everyone but gentle with you, or a man who's gentle with everyone but fierce with you, which would you choose?" I stayed silent. Jason didn't have a good reputation due to pushing his pregnant father's mistress down the stairs at 16, causing a miscarriage and nearly killing his father with a knife. Cold and ruthless. Moreover, his erratic behavior and tendency to resort to violence meant no one dared to approach him, even though his family's business was on par with Louis's. Everyone feared Jason's tyrannical nature. But he treated me well. Except for the 2 fights I've seen him in, he hasn't shown any other bad behavior in front of me. It's rare for Joy to praise him. I took a sip of water, saying, "Jason's nice, but it's impossible for me and him." "No way. You still like Louis?" Joy widened her eyes. "Feel bad for Jason." "Who said I still like Louis?" I put down the cup, ready to explain to Joy, when a cold voice came from behind. "Melody, come out for a moment." Joy was in disbelief, and I was also very surprised. What did Louis want with me? But with all the eyes on us, I stood up and followed Louis out. Louis stood in front of me, his handsome face still showing signs of recent injuries. Hesitantly, I asked, "Louis, do you need something?" Louis frowned and stretched his hand toward me. "The medicine?" I didn't react immediately, then heard Louis sigh heavily, almost gritting his teeth. "You used to bring me stomach meds every dinner. Melody, have you forgotten me so soon?" Suppressing the irritation, I silently chanted, "I'm a lady, I won't curse," then calmly said, "If you're not feeling well, you should see a doctor or call your fiancé." "Louis, you shouldn't come to me." At this moment, coming to me, what does he take me for? Just because I liked him, should I wait on him like a dog? Melody. Louis suddenly leaned closer, sadness in his beautiful eyes. "Don't keep your distance from me." He seemed a bit drunk, with a slight blush on his fair and handsome face. Frowning, he appeared confused. He reached out to grab me but was stopped. Anna grabbed his arm, glaring guardedly at me. "Melody, I knew you wouldn't stay put. Louis and I are publicly engaged. Try stealing my man, and I'll make the world know you're a mistress." Seeing Anna so smug, I shot back, unkindly, "Anna, do you think everyone's as immoral as you? If you want to be a mistress, go ahead, but don't get in my way after all." I sneered, "Everyone knows in these 6 years, I was Louis's fiancé, not you." Anna's face contorted with anger, knowing I struck a nerve. With Louis drunk and unaware, she glared at me viciously. "If it weren't for you, Louis's fiancé would always be me. Melody, you're the shameless one stealing my place." After days of holding back, my anger finally erupted, leaving a fresh red handprint on Anna's face. Coldly glaring at her, I said, "I've wanted to slap you for a long time. I'm the daughter of the Smiths. I owe you nothing. If anything, it's the Smiths that owe me. You, Anna, have taken my place for years. What right do you have to shout at me? I tolerate my parents' favoritism because they gave birth to me. But you?" I sneered, "What do you count as?" "Melody." You jerk. Anna, unused to such humiliation, tried to hit me, but with Louis drunk, she had to bear the slap. Feeling slightly better, I turned away without looking back, messaging Joy before leaving the gathering. These two scums, I don't want to see again. Jason appeared out of nowhere. As I reached the corner, he grabbed me forcefully. I stumbled into his chest, too stunned to yell for help. Being so close, my face turned red. Jason seemed to have something to say but was surprised by my reddening face. Raising an eyebrow, he teased, "Really? Just a hug turns you red?" My Melody is so pure. It was as if he discovered a new world. I tried to escape, but he laughed evilly and pulled me back into his arms. Damn it, Jason. You never play by the rules. What do you mean, his Melody? What do you mean by pure? Why does it sound so ambiguous? I was pressed against Jason's chest, feeling uncomfortable, and pushed him away. What nonsense are you talking about? My upbringing taught me not to mess around with men, let alone hug and hold them. Girls should be reserved and self-respecting. I was rigid and serious, almost ready to engrave the words female virtue on my face. Jason's charming eyes were full of amusement. So, you and Louis, you never did anything? What nonsense. Before marriage, nothing is allowed. Jason seemed overly pleased. I glared at him, and he subdued his smile, tugging at the metal chain around his neck. Now, Louis doesn't seem that bad. I didn't feel like bantering with him. Why are you here? Jason pointed to the restaurant sign behind me. This place you're eating at is mine. I turned around and saw the big red sign that said Illusion. Well, that's unique. But Jason opening a quiet bar? When Joy picked the place for our gathering, she specifically chose it for its tranquil environment. If she knew this place, Illusion, belonged to Jason, she'd probably give him extra points. After all, Jason always seemed like the guy who would own a bar with deafening music in black ripped jeans and short boots, a white t-shirt that showed off his sexy muscles. He wasn't thin at all. Plus, his flawless, handsome face with sharp, bold features, he was really a striking man. If you think about it, Jason does have his charm. But then he lit a cigarette and drove away, a girl trying to get his number. Get lost. I frowned. You'll be disliked by girls acting like this. He scoffed. My number isn't for just anyone. Besides, you already hate me. Why should I care about anyone else? Instinctively, I replied, Who said I hate you? His long fingers held a lighter, ready to light the cigarette. The streetlight accentuated his chiseled features. He chuckled softly, removed the cigarette, and bent down close to me, his breath tinged with ambiguity. So you don't hate me, does that mean you like me? His face suddenly very close. Unlike Louis's cold and aloof demeanor, Jason had slightly longer eyes that turned up a bit, and his mouth curved with a teasing smile. His beautiful dark eyes reflected my image. Born with eyes that look deeply affectionate, thank goodness I had enough willpower not to fall for it. Jason, you're messing with me again. He reached out and ruffled my hair, his voice low. Melody, can't you just believe me this once? I leaned against the wall, head bowed. I felt dizzy. I hadn't felt well since morning, managed to get through work by evening, but then Louis called me out. I hadn't even had a drink of water, and Jason insisted on talking about this. I was in a foul mood, no longer willing to tolerate it. You're even more annoying than Louis. I dropped those words, just wanting to find a place to sleep. Jason wouldn't let it go. How exactly am I more annoying than Louis? Melody. I like you so much, give you all my heart. I finally couldn't hold back, squatting down with support from the wall. Jason tossed the cigarette, his casual grin turning serious. He pulled me into his arms and sighed softly. Do you always have to wait until you're about to collapse for someone to notice? I clung to his clothes, feeling wronged. Jason, you're really annoying. Jason didn't say a word, scooped me up, and walked toward the garage. You, and only you. I want to go home. I struggled but had no strength. He pressed my head gently, voice full of concern. Alright, don't move. I'm taking you to the hospital. I lay in Jason's arms, too weak to say anything. Actually, I know I'm not that sick, but for some reason, I just wanted to lean on Jason. I closed my eyes, leaning against his chest, whispering, Jason, what if you had found me first? How great would that be? Jason's arm tightened around me but didn't pause, continuing forward with big strides. I did end up getting sick, a mild fever. The doctor prescribed meds, and I stayed overnight for an 4. Jason sat beside me, feeding me porridge while repeatedly urging the nurse to be gentle with the injections. I looked at the nurse, embarrassed. It's okay. You can do it. I'm much better. The young nurse blushed, looking at Jason, and said enviously after placing the 4. Your boyfriend treats you so well. I was a bit flustered, about to correct her, but Jason stuffed a spoonful of porridge in my mouth. The sick shouldn't talk. His face had a bright smile. I glared at him. Is this what you call treating me well? Fortunately, Jason's actions were gentle afterward. I felt much better after half a bowl of porridge. Jason, like an old man, crossed his legs beside my bed, checked my forehead's temperature, then relaxed and tucked me in. Sleep. I'll stay with you. I closed my eyes, then reopened them after a while, staring at Jason. Jason sighed. Awkwardly, he adjusted his long limbs, moving his chair closer. Right here. I'm not leaving. Sleep. Only then did I close my eyes. I don't know how long I slept, but I had a dream. I dreamt of getting lost as a child. No one came looking for me. The crowd was overwhelming and noisy. I didn't know which direction to go, stumbling all the way. Later, I was adopted. My foster parents were kind but very poor. I didn't dare tell them about being bullied. Classmates threw my uniform into the mud. Weak and self-conscious, I didn't dare fight back. By the time I found my uniform, it was too dirty to wear. It was bought with the money my foster parents had saved up. Holding my uniform, I cried in the mud. Surrounded by laughing classmates, someone pulled my hair, forcing my head into the mud. Nobody helped me. Clean, expensive sneakers stepped into the mud. That was my first time meeting Louis. He was immaculate, like a god on high. And there I was, in the mud, lowly like an ant. He looked down at me without a hint of pity, coldly saying, "Weakness is a kind of aiding the enemy." After saying that, he turned and walked away. I clutched my dirty clothes, gritting my teeth, and threw whatever I could find around me. From then on, no one dared to bully me again. And I started paying attention to Louis's news. That's when I found out he was the young master of a wealthy family, someone with a noble status. He was born to stand at the top, looking down on everyone else. People like me would never cross paths with him. But one day, he appeared in front of me again, calmly saying, "Melody, you shouldn't be here." Later, he helped me transfer schools, going back to the Smiths, to a private high school. He said no one would bully me ever again, they would protect me for a lifetime. But in the end, I found out the storm was brought by them. The one truly protecting me was Jason. I was in the hospital for 2 days, and when I could finally be discharged, I ran into Louis. It was quite funny, really. I couldn't see him when I liked him most. Now that I gave up, he showed up easily. Jason went to handle the discharge paperwork, and Louis, wearing a hospital gown, brushed past Melody. I found out he had been hospitalized for a recurrence of his stomach issue. I was calling Joy. Joy asked if I wanted the photo and the doll on the table. I glanced at Louis, my tone calm. "Throw them away. No need to keep them. That photo and that doll." Louis stood there, watching me after I hung up. He knew the photo on my desk was of the two of us, and the doll was from him. I looked at his hospital gown and nodded politely. What a coincidence. Louis, with an unreadable expression, said, "I'm sick." "Well, get better soon." After saying that, I was about to leave. Louis grabbed me, saying, "You want to throw away our picture and the doll?" Just like that, Melody, can you discard your feelings so easily? Before I could respond, he muttered bitterly, when I was sick before, you didn't react like this. What reaction should I have? I pushed Louis's hand away, putting a distance between us. Louis, don't tug at me when we meet. I don't want Anna to see and accuse me falsely again. As for the doll and the photo. I paused, shaking my head self-deprecatingly. Don't you think it's ridiculous? The only photo of us was just a cropped picture of a group shot. And the doll? If I remember right, it was a gift from a store promotion, wasn't it? Louis, in your eyes, my previous feelings were cheap, weren't they? A doll you got for free, and a photo I painstakingly obtained through a screenshot. How stupid I was. I liked you so much that you all decided to humiliate me at your engagement party, didn't you? I spoke clearly, I don't like you anymore. I don't value anything related to you now. This is what you wanted, right? Melody. Louis looked at me, his eyes reddening. His face was pale, his usually confident and handsome face was now full of sorrow. Melody, I regret it. After a long silence, I shook my head. Louis, you're not regretting, you are just upset that someone who was centered around you has now abandoned you. But before I gave up on you, you abandoned me first. I turned and walked away, not looking back at Louis. Jason stood with a medical record book, tall, not far off, looking at me with deep eyes. An hour later, in the stifling atmosphere of the sports car, Jason had been staring at me for 40 minutes because of Louis's words. Unable to bear it any longer, I said, I won't repeat the same mistakes, stop staring at me. Jason ground his teeth. I leave for 5 minutes, and Louis tries to swoop in. How about we just get married then? Let's see who dares to mess with us. You're speaking nonsense. I sighed, picked up my phone, and sent out a resume I had drafted. Then I opened my online banking app and transferred extra $2,000 to Jason for the hospital fees. I glanced at him. You deserve better. Then I opened the car door to get out. But Jason was faster. He locked the door, looking coldly at the transfer on his phone. He sneered, what's this? Trying to cut ties? We don't have any TAC. Blurted it out, then regretted it immediately. Jason can't be provoked. His smile faded, his eyes dark like ink staring at me. Feeling a bit nervous suddenly, I saw him smile faintly. Melody, how do we make it official? With that, he moved closer, his long fingers propped on the seat behind me, his forearm muscles smooth and strong. Usually calm, my heart skipped a beat at his movement. Our eyes locked, his handsome face suddenly so close. It was maddening. Jason, what exactly do you like about me? I finally couldn't hold it back, breaking the tender atmosphere. I feared I'd fall for Jason if this continued. But I was scared. I wasted 6 years on Louis, 6 years without making him like me. And I've known Jason for barely half a year, yet he claims to like me? Impossible. Even if he likes me, what about me? Do I deserve his affection? I sighed inside, but Jason didn't answer my question, just stared intently. Agree to be my girlfriend and I'll tell you forget it. I threw out those words, unlocked the door quickly, and got out. I'm off, you should go back too. Jason didn't say a word, just sat in the car, watching me walk away. At home, before even entering, I heard Anna and my parents chatting happily. But when I walked in, their laughter stopped. William spoke first. Where have you been the past 2 days? Couldn't you call? I lowered my head to change shoes, silent. I told the company I needed time off. If William cared about me for real, he'd know where I am. Or maybe he does know I'm sick but doesn't really care. Seeing I'm not answering, Susan jumps in too. Melody, your dad cares about you. It's rude not to respond to him. Yeah, Melody, you haven't been home for 2 days. Didn't you go drinking with your colleagues? I finally finished changing my shoes, stand up, and gaze at the 3 of them cozy in the living room. I say, exhausted, I took sick leave from HR. If he actually cared, he wouldn't be clueless about my illness. William pauses, looking startled. Susan awkwardly continues, why didn't you tell me you were sick? Is it serious? Don't blame your dad. He's the CEO, he doesn't have time to handle every little thing. Right, but when Anna catches a cold, he cancels meetings to be with her. I was just hospitalized for 2 days. Melody, why are you being so bitter? Anna clings to William's arm, whining, Dad works so hard to make money for this family. You shouldn't complain about him. Bitter? Understanding? Anna, do you know why I got sick? I worked non-stop for a month to wrap up a case perfectly. Who cared about me? If you need money, you can just ask Mom and Dad. What about me? Every penny I spend, I earn myself. Sure, I'm the eldest daughter of the Smiths, but I have to be out drinking with people, negotiating deals, and then I have to step aside for someone else to be with my fiancé and still maintain a good attitude. I get sick, and no one checks on me. I say one thing, and now I'm being bitter. Anna didn't expect me to be so tough. She looks pale. Melody, you still blame me. Yes, it's my fault because I'm sickly. If it weren't for that, you wouldn't have to carry this burden alone. My fault, my fault. Anna starts coughing dramatically. She's pretty convincing, but I know she's faking. Yet even these theatrics make William and Susan overly concerned. Melody, that's enough. Just because you're sick once, you act like this. Anna's been frail since she was a child. Can't you give her a break? I take a deep breath and look at the three of them. Trying to find any guilt in their eyes is hopeless. I calmly say, all right then, Anna. Let me sincerely thank you for stealing my fiancé. Melody, what do you mean by that? William suddenly stands up. I know we've wronged you lately. We already said you don't need to make the statement. Why are you still complaining? We went through all the trouble to bring you back, and this is how you repay us? Mom, Dad, the day I got lost, weren't you picking up Anna? I was 6 years old when I got lost. 6-year-olds remember some things. I remember waiting outside my elementary school for my dear Mom and Dad. But they didn't come. I left with someone who looked like Mom. I later found out you both went to the kindergarten to pick up Anna. Sometimes I blame myself, or even hate myself. How awful must a person be to be abandoned by both parents? Was I not good enough? In the 6 years since I came back home, it was really because I liked Louis. But from 17, I worked desperately to learn about the business, to excel. Not just to match Louis, but to be someone my parents could be proud of. But it didn't matter. For people who don't like you, nothing you do will change that. Sometimes I watch Anna acting spoiled with Mom and Dad, and I'm envious. She doesn't have to do anything, and everyone loves her. She can happily do what she wants. What about me? No matter how much I do, no one likes me. Maybe I'm just unlovable. I've already submitted my resignation to HR. Mom, Dad, I'm not going to the company anymore starting tomorrow. After saying all of this, I take a step back and turn around, closing the door behind me. As usual, no one comes after me, and I don't look back. I've left home, given up on Louis, and quit the company. I'm starting a new life. Living for myself for once. I can't wait to say goodbye to the past. I head back to the small town where my adoptive parents live. When I arrive, they aren't too surprised. After dinner, they even hand me a card. They say all the money I've sent them over the years they haven't used. They saved it for me. Around $300,000. My adoptive mom holds my hand, looking pained. My dear Melody, you've suffered. We saved most of the money you sent us. I push the card back. I have money. I learned a lot from the Smiths. Use this to buy a house for my brother. Mom, Dad, I'm good at making money now. My adoptive parents have a 16-year-old son named Eric. He is eating beside us. Hearing our talk, he stops his meal. Just keep it. Mom and Dad said guys shouldn't take money from girls. I can make my own money in the future. Yeah, keep it, my adoptive dad says, smiling warmly. Melody is different from Eric. She needs to have some money. Otherwise, people will look down on her. Eric is a guy. If he's not capable, no amount of money will help. My nose tingles, and tears well up. But I don't want to lose control in front of them, so I stand up quickly. I feel like drinking some Coke. I'll go buy some outside. Eric follows me. It's late, I'll go with you. It's 9 p.m. Under the streetlight, Eric walks next to me, holding the Coke and a pack of yogurt. I wanted Melody. Here's some yogurt. Girls shouldn't drink too much cold stuff. You can have it every day while you're home. I extend my empty hand. Give the Coke to me. Eric stepped back. No way, if someone saw, they'd probably make fun of me for not being manly. I laughed out loud, looking at Eric, who's nearly 6 feet tall. I reached out to rub his head but had to tiptoe. Eric cooperated and bent down. Go ahead, you girls just love to mess with people's heads. Us girls? Eric, are you in a relationship or something? You seem to know us girls well. As I rubbed his head, which felt great, I suddenly thought, I wonder if Jason's head would feel the same to rub. Forget it. I'm out of that circle now. No point thinking about Jason. Besides, Jason's temper is so bad, there's no way he'd let someone pet him like a big dog. But before I could pull my hand back, a voice I knew too well spoke from behind me. Melody, good job. I turned around. Jason, whom I hadn't seen in ages, was standing under a streetlight. Tall, dressed in black, with a pile of cigarette butts at his feet, making it seem like he'd been waiting for a long time. His face was darker than his clothes. As he said this, he tossed the cigarette butt in his hand to the ground, stomped on it, then looked up, his eyes narrowed, gaze fixed on the hand that was rubbing Eric's head. I automatically pulled my hand back. Jason, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? Jason sneered, stepping closer with his long legs, the atmosphere around him cold and oppressive. I knew he was angry. Eric reached out to pull me behind him. Who is this guy? What's he trying to do? I quickly grabbed his hand. He's my friend. It's okay, wait for me. Jason has a bad temper. I remembered last time when Lewis just pulled me, Jason beat him up viciously. So now I'm really worried. Will Jason beat up Eric too? That can't happen. I looked at Jason's dark, handsome face, anxious, and stepped forward. Jason, why are you here? Jason's look at me protecting Eric made him laugh out of anger. He pressed his tongue against his molars, his eyes self-mocking. I'm such a fool. I didn't understand. Jason's face looked so awful. He stared at me for a long time before finally asking, Are you happy, leaving everyone without saying a word and coming here? I was stunned. Although the time with my foster parents wasn't as affluent as with the Smiths, it was really happy. And I can protect them now. So I nodded and smiled with relief. I really like it here. Jason stepped back, his voice hoarse, like it took a lot of courage to ask such a question. What about him? I turned around following his gaze, looking at Eric, holding yogurt and cola, 6 feet tall, glaring at us. It seems like if Jason made any move towards me, Eric would hurl his cola at him. This non-biological younger brother treats me way better than my own sister Anna ever did. So when Jason asked if he treats me well, I responded immediately without thinking. Yeah, Eric is the best guy to me. Of course. Hearing my answer, the violent and repressed aura around Jason seemed to dissipate immediately. He looked really down, head hanging. In this world, there's only Lewis who doesn't know how to cherish you. It's not like you only have me. Jason's voice was so low, I didn't quite catch it. As I stepped forward, he backed away first, his long legs put a distance between us. He gave me a deep look, said nothing, turned around and walked to his car. Eric and I exchanged a glance. I didn't understand why Jason suddenly pulled this stunt. Eric looked at me. Melody, is he your new boyfriend? Probably not. Jason confessed to me a lot, but I never agreed. Eric nodded. He probably likes you. How do you know? Eric replied, just because if you broke up with Lewis, You might as well consider this one. Why? I just feel he's better than Louis. I laughed. You've only met the guy once and you think he's better? You really want to marry Melody off that bad? Not really. If you want to stay home, just stay at home. I just feel, having someone to protect you, not always being the one charging forward, isn't a bad thing. Got it. I responded to Eric, but my mind was on Jason's reaction. I felt a bit conflicted. Eric, do you think he misunderstood you as my boyfriend? If he misunderstood, do you want to explain? No. It's fine. I felt a bit confused. Actually, that moment, I didn't want Jason to leave, but I didn't know what to say. I rejected Jason so many times. I always felt Jason wouldn't love me. Besides, I don't want to suffer in relationships anymore. I just want to make money and have a good life with my foster parents. But I couldn't help but think of Jason's lonely figure. Eric followed me. Melody, a girl once told me something I think makes a lot of sense. What? In a relationship, if someone wants another person to explain, it means that person wants to have a future with them, and not be misunderstood. I was stunned for a long time. It wasn't until I was almost home that I realized, Eric, are you having an early relationship? You're in high school, it's an important time. You can't be in an early relationship, do you understand? Even if you're dating early, you can't be irresponsible to the girl. Got it? Eric walked quickly. Melody, you're so annoying. I'm clearly trying to advise you. Don't miss it and then regret it. I won't regret it. I opened the door. You go in first, I'll make a call. Eric had a look of I knew it on his face. Don't make it too late. I was in the hallway calling Jason. Before dialing, I built up my courage for a long time. It rang once, he didn't pick up. I felt a little dejected, like a part of me was empty. What if Jason really misunderstood me? I called, and he didn't answer. Would he never want to talk to me again? But what was I supposed to say to him? That everything here is fine, and I'm still in contact with the high and mighty families of my past? Staring at the rejected call, I struggled for a long time. In the end, I couldn't help myself and dialed Jason again. This time Jason picked up but didn't speak. The sound of wind was loud on the other end. I was nervous but said what I wanted to say. That guy was my brother, Jason. Don't misunderstand. My heart raced. Jason stayed silent until the wind stopped. Finally, I heard his deep, magnetic voice. Melody, why are you explaining to me? I clutched the phone, stiff. I looked out the window. The crescent moon hung high. It was so quiet I could hear my own heartbeat. Jason knew me well. Even when Louis misunderstood me supporting Anna, I never explained. Because even if I did, Louis wouldn't believe me. So now, why was I explaining to Jason? Another silence over the phone, the screen lit up. Jason didn't hang up, he was just quietly waiting for my answer. I knew the answer in my heart. But I was scared to say it. Holding my phone, I said a bit hurriedly, Jason, stop bullying me. Is this bullying? Jason chuckled, his tone ambiguous. If that's bullying, Melody, you can't handle my bullying. My heart almost stopped. Jason, be serious. If you keep this up, I'm not talking to you. Hearing him laugh, he probably wasn't mad anymore. If there's nothing, I'll hang up now. Something. Jason's voice was lazy. Melody, I drove 6 hours to find you. I'm so hungry. Will you have dinner with me? I looked at the time, but it's late now. Can you eat something first? I'll find you tomorrow. Tomorrow? All day? Jason questioned. If it's not all day, I won't agree. Melody, what are you doing? My adoptive mom called from inside, seemingly about to come find me. I quickly lowered my voice. All day. I don't have anything to do anyway. I'll keep you company. Okay. Jason's voice was slow, a bit teasing. Just you and me. Don't push your luck. Hang up, I've got to go back. You first. With Jason's words, I hung up and yelled into the room, "I'm coming, Mom." Opening the door, Eric was leaning against the doorframe, winking at me. "Melody, how are you going on a date tomorrow? Need me to drive you?" I stopped him quickly. "It's not a date. Just meeting a friend." Eric didn't care, turning to my adoptive mom. "Mom, I've seen Melody's boyfriend is so nervous about her, looks even better than me." "Nonsense, he's clearly very handsome." "Melody, shouldn't you first deny he's your boyfriend?" "Eric." My adoptive mom watched us playfully, shaking her head with a smile. "Our Melody is so wonderful, having a handsome and good boyfriend isn't surprising. Dress up pretty for your date tomorrow, no need to come home for dinner." Help. It's really not a date. But the next day, I couldn't help myself. I wore a white dress, put on light makeup, even washed my hair and curled it carefully. After finishing everything, staring at myself in the mirror, I realized what I had done. Resigned, I picked up my carefully matched purse and left with a racing heart. "Jason, I'm here." "Where are you?" I messaged Jason, planning to meet at the grocery store from last night. I was there but hadn't seen Jason yet. Jason replied, "Almost there, count to 10, and I'll arrive." "Jason, you're late." I silently fumed but still counted. Before I reached 1, a shadow fell over me. I looked up, met by a pair of eyes shining like stars. Jason had changed. A simple white t-shirt, black jeans, the sunlight falling on him, making him look clean and handsome. "Why did you stop counting?" He smiled, tall, bending slightly towards me. "Today, Melody and I are in matching outfits." "No, we're not." I stepped back, flustered. "There's tons of white dresses and t-shirts out there. All those are matching?" Jason sounded disappointed. "Oh, thought I could wear matching outfits with my favorite person on my birthday." I was surprised. "Is it your birthday today?" Jason raised an eyebrow slightly. "If it's my birthday, will you grant me a wish?" I looked away, walking beside him. "You better not trick me. Your birthday is not till winter. Last year, you pushed that girl into the pool during your birthday. Don't you remember? You're so mean, pushing someone who came to your birthday into water." I kept listing Jason's misdeeds, ending with, "If my parents knew how bad you were, they definitely wouldn't let me be with you." Jason defended, "That girl deserved it. If I hadn't pushed her, she would have pushed the little sister next to her. She's the malicious one. Not me." Jason's eyes lit up. "Melody, what did you just say?" "Nothing, I was just chatting with you casually." I was holding my bag. "Where do you want to go?" "I know this area well." "Wherever you want to go, I'm in." "Jason." Before I could finish talking, Jason suddenly jumped in front of me. I almost ruined my carefully done makeup on Jason's white t-shirt. I looked up to see his expectant eyes. "No way, you just said you agreed for us to be together." "Melody, say it again. Are you accepting me?" His eyes were burning with anticipation, and it seemed like he wouldn't let go until I answered. I whispered, "I don't have parents. I'm very poor, but I love my adoptive parents deeply. Does that bother you?" I had completely said goodbye to my former glory and wealth, or rather, those things never belonged to me in the first place. Jason suddenly cursed. "So the reason you didn't agree is because of that?" I was stunned. That's not the entire reason. I was afraid of many things. I was scared that I wasn't good enough for Jason's love. And I was also afraid that one day, Jason would be like Lewis, just toying with me. Too many fears held me back from moving forward. But now, looking at Jason's sincere and serious eyes, it was like a small voice inside me was saying, "Try again. Don't let one scumbag make you give up on loving and being loved. That would be punishing myself." "Jason." I lowered my head, not daring to look at him. I think. His voice was low and gentle. "What do you think?" I bit my lip, trying to muster the courage to speak. Jason sighed softly and pulled me close, hugging me gently yet firmly. "I know what you're thinking. I'm here. Melody, with me, you don't need to worry about those unnecessary things. He wanted to say more but shook his head. Whatever, you're too insecure. I'll prove it to you later. Let's go on a date. This would be an open and rightful date. I looked at our intertwined hands, and smiled brightly. So this is what it feels like to hold hands on a date. Jason, what else is there besides holding hands on a date? Jason bought me a milk tea. There's a lot to do on a date. Didn't you and Louis? He paused and frowned. Forget it, never mind. Asking will only make me mad. I realized I never really dated Louis like this. Because Jason held my hand, I had to hold the milk tea with the other. He naturally put the straw in and held it to my lips. Is dating about being pampered? I shook that thought away, took a sip, and answered his earlier question honestly. I think I went on dates but not quite fully. Dates with Louis were either about work or him bailing on me. We never did the usual date stuff like watching movies or having meals together. Let alone Louis buying me a milk tea and handing it to me himself. It's pretty good. Pretty good? Jason said good about my tragic past? I wasn't satisfied, and tried to pull my hand back. Jason yanked me into his arms. His firm chest pressed into me painfully, making me frown. Strange. I'd been through so much pain yet never whimpered. But a bump from Jason had me practically crying out. Jason's eyes were gentle as he lowered his head. Where does it hurt? Let me rub it for you. I blushed. Jason, you're teasing me again. He laughed softly, ruffling my hair. My melody. My heart was racing in his arms. Jason held my hand again. Shall we watch a movie first or eat? Watch a movie. Let's get couple seats. I often saw Joy and her boyfriend book those on Facebook. Jason raised an eyebrow, feeling bold. Couple seats? How is that bold? I didn't understand. Jason grinned and said nothing more. Whatever you want, I'll get it for you. When the movie started, I realized what bold meant, seeing couples all around. Jason, won't we get caught? I tugged his sleeve. Couples next to us were practically on top of each other. Won't this be a problem? The heat from Jason's arm through his sleeve made me realize he was burning up. I glanced at him, seeing a strange look in his eyes. Are you okay? Do you have a fever? I reached for his forehead, but he held my hand down. Watch the movie. His voice was hoarse. I still didn't get it, worried he was forcing himself for my sake. I tried to look at him again but his grip tightened. Melody, don't move. I'm afraid I can't hold back. Hold back from what? He whispered in my ear, his warm breath tingling my neck from wanting to be like them. Are you up for it? I glanced at the surrounding couples, making out passionately, and froze. Jason saw me finally behave and sighed. You think you're being bold? I'm the bold one, torturing myself here. By the end of the movie, I was almost numb from staying still. Jason didn't look much better and even went to the restroom midway. When he left, I finally dared to nibble on popcorn and sip my drink, sneaking peeks at the other couples. Jason said he wasn't sure if I could handle it. After the movie, I texted Joy while waiting for Jason outside. Joy, why does my boyfriend feel so hot when he hugs me? Joy replied instantly. Your boyfriend is turned on. I looked at her reply, and my fingers holding the phone were getting hot. My fingertips seemed to still have Jason's warmth, and my face started to flush. Jason. Did that really happen? After a while, Joy sent another message. When did you get a boyfriend? I didn't reply to her since Jason was back, seeing my red face and how I didn't dare to look at him. Jason lowered his head and leaned in close. What's wrong? There were a few drops of water on his face, and he carried a light scent of pine wood. It smelled really nice. I looked at his deep eyes, remembering when we first met. He was wild and untamable, not someone anyone could easily control. But now, he stood in front of me, lowered his head slightly, and his eyes were full of me. Jason, just now. What about just now? He froze for a bit, then laughed, not a hint of awkwardness. He raised an eyebrow at me. Yeah, isn't this normal? Jason, I called his name, my voice softening involuntarily. He rubbed my head with resignation and helplessness. Let's go, I'll take you home. I got up and instinctively held his broad hand. Jason hesitated for a moment but then intertwined his fingers with mine. We walked out of the theater together. I was so busy talking to Jason that I didn't notice Joy's later messages. Lewis has been looking for you, but we all said we didn't know where you went. Melody, it seems Lewis really regrets it. I said goodbye to Jason and unlocked the door with my keys. The living room lights were on, and Eric was sitting there playing on his phone. I was a bit surprised. You're still up this late? Eric yawned. Mom and Dad said they couldn't sleep until you came home. Now that you're back, I can go to bed. I'm exhausted. I felt a warmth in my heart. Thanks, Eric. I'll take you on a trip once your college entrance exams are over. Eric waved his hand dismissively. I've got plans already. You go with your boyfriend. Thinking of Jason, I couldn't help but smile foolishly. Of course, my boyfriend will also come. Eric stopped in his tracks. You agreed so easily? Melody, show some restraint. Eric's tendencies flared up again. Melody, although I'm really happy you came back from the wrong path with Lewis, you should at least assess him a bit. I opened my bedroom door. Why worry? If he bullies me, don't I have you, my brother? Eric scratched his head. That's true. I shut the door with a smile. Right then, Jason called. Did you get in? Just did. What about you? Are you back at your place? While shopping this afternoon, Jason told me he also had a place here, so there was no need to worry about accommodations. Not yet, but I'm already missing my Melody. Holding the plush toy Jason won for me today, I smiled. Then go to sleep. You'll see me in your dreams. Jason sighed helplessly. Melody, why do I like you so much? I can't even bear to be apart for a bit. I felt sweet inside but complained teasingly. Aren't you too old for this? How would I know why you like me so much? Tell me, what do you like about me? Long ago, when Jason first confessed to me, I asked him the same question, but he never answered. I really wanted to know today. After a while, Jason said, Melody, do you remember when we first met? I thought for a moment. Was it at your father's birthday party? Jason neither confirmed nor denied. I kept recalling that scene from his dad's party. Back then, I was Lewis's fiancée, and we attended Jason's dad's birthday party together. I remember dressing up really nicely, wearing high heels and a champagne-colored dress, entering arm in arm with Lewis. If Lewis hadn't left me on the roadside later to take the pretending to be sick Anna to the hospital, that day would have been a cherished memory. Jason was already infamous in our circle, and it got even worse after that day. Despite it being his father's birthday, Jason, the biological son, not only showed up late but arrived defiantly on a motorcycle. Dressed in black biker gear, with his tall frame and long legs, he appeared before us with the roar of the engine. He was undeniably good-looking, with golden-dyed hair, fair skin, and eyes full of defiance. Had it not been for the inappropriateness of the setting, every woman there might have screamed for that rebellious boy. Everyone else was trying to behave within the confines of our rigid social circle, but he paid no mind and was his true self. But back then, I didn't see Jason that way. He might have been good-looking, but he couldn't bully my fiancée. Jason and Lewis never got along and disliked his old man. So, when Jason's father praised Lewis, Jason defiantly rode his motorcycle straight toward him. I was fiercer than Jason at the time. Just as he was about to hit Lewis, I stepped in front of him. Jason had to stop his motorcycle abruptly. With a black helmet and cold eyes, he stared at me. His gaze was icy, and I wasn't about to back down, ready to face him head-on. So, you fell deeply for me even when I was protecting another guy? After hearing the story, I was taken aback. Jason, your love is quite unique. Jason chuckled. Honestly, that party didn't make much of an impact. At most, I admired your guts. Later, I happened to see how Lewis mistreated you, and you didn't even make a sound. As he spoke, I paused, gripping the plush toy tightly and lost in thought. That night, after the party, I wanted to have a date with Lewis, but Anna faked being sick, and Louis had to leave me to take her to the hospital. The hospital and the date spot were in completely different directions. I knew Anna was faking it, so it was the first time I forced Louis to choose between me and her. But Louis refused me without much hesitation. "Melody, Anna's not well, we can't delay." Then he heartlessly left me, speeding away with Anna. I thought maybe if I had softened, acted a bit cute, Louis wouldn't have been so harsh. But I just didn't want to. I felt if Louis liked me, he would come back for me. But he didn't. He left me alone on the street at night. Thankfully, Jason's driver picked me up later, so nothing happened. But that's a story for another time. Jason continued, "I was thinking, if such a girl loved me with all her heart, how great that would be." "So you're jealous?" "Jealous," he paused, then said, "and also, I felt bad for you. Melody, in the future, just love me, okay?" Jason's usual lazy voice had no trace of arrogance, only sincerity and hope. I felt a mix of sourness and relief, with a bit of sweetness. Thinking about those times used to feel so bitter. But now with Jason, those memories aren't so dark anymore. It's like walking through hard times alone, thinking no one understands, but then turning around to find someone had been there with you. That time wasn't wasted. Even though I lost myself in liking Louis. But I wasn't going to say that directly to Jason. I just huffed, "You wish. You nearly ran over your girlfriend back then, and you still want me to only like you? Go reflect on your past sins." Then I pretended to be mad and hung up the phone. Jason's message came through right away, "Okay Melody, I'll apologize properly tomorrow. Don't be mad at me, okay?" I read Jason's message, feeling sweet and arrogant as I replied, "Seeing you so sincere, I'll give you a way out." Then I exited the chat and saw a message from Joy. I replied, "Joy, I used to like him a lot, but now looking back, I feel like I was crazy. But I don't deny my past feelings. I just know now what love should be like." Without waiting for Joy's reply, I screenshot the message and posted it on Facebook with a picture of Jason and me taken today, captioned, "Good love helps you become a better person, thank you for loving me." Then a familiar phone number popped up on my screen. It was the first call from Louis since I left a city. I didn't answer, letting those 11 familiar digits light up and dim out on my screen. But Louis was persistent, calling one after another. After I hung up, he messaged, "Melody, don't be so heartless. Please answer." Not answering is heartless? Wasn't he heartless when he gave up on me in front of so many people? I didn't really understand Louis's logic. I just replied, "I have nothing to talk to you about. If you keep this up, I'll send the call records to Anna." "Louis, don't you like Anna a lot?" "Melody, I regret it. I really regret it. I've broken off the engagement with Anna." But I didn't see that message, I had already blocked Louis's number. Meanwhile, in Louis's wine cellar in a city. Louis lay there in a slump, no longer proud and confident, looking like he had lost the most precious thing in the world, sitting among a pile of empty bottles, eyes desolate. The still-lit screen of his phone displayed a screenshot of my post. I had long deleted Louis. It was a mutual friend who sent him the screenshot. Louis clutched that picture, wanting to crush the phone. "I don't like Jason being around you, Melody. I really regret it. Please come back." Jason and I were having a wonderful time in the small town. He took me to many places and treated me to delicious food. He knew the town from my memory better than I did. We almost visited all the fun spots. Every time we went somewhere, he encouraged me to dance for the camera, capturing those moments. I hadn't danced in years, but he kept encouraging me, taking photos. He said I was the most beautiful when doing what I loved. And I really loved dancing, though few people knew that. I asked Jason how he knew. He smiled at me, kissed me, and said, "Not just dancing, whatever you like, I'll do it with you." I decided to introduce Jason to my foster parents. Jason was super nervous for the first meet. He dyed his hair black, wore a formal suit, and brought a mysterious folder. I asked what was in the folder, but he didn't tell me. I later found out it was all his assets. He wasn't lazy, he worked at what he loved, earned money, and supported me. He didn't rely on his family, he used his passion to build a life. He proved to my foster parents that he could give me a good future. The day I introduced him to my foster parents, Eric took me outside, leaving Jason with them. I didn't know what they talked about, but when they came out, their eyes were red. They placed my hand into Jason's. If you ever stop loving her, don't treat her badly. Just bring her back. Melody's been through a lot, she can't suffer anymore. Jason held my hand firmly and promised, never. My Melody will only taste sweetness, no more bitterness. I felt carefree, no longer worrying about making mistakes or not being good enough to be abandoned. I had a family that loved me and Jason who loved me. But happiness sometimes feels too surreal. My 6 years with the Smiths felt like a dream I'd once had. It wasn't until Anna showed up at my foster parents' house that I realized I was once also a daughter of the Smiths. It had only been a few months since I last saw Anna, but she had lost a lot of weight. She used to wear only the latest high-end fashion for the season, and only once. But today, her clothes were all wrinkled. She was waiting for me in the living room. As soon as she saw me, she looked like she wanted to tear me apart. But Jason, my foster parents, and Eric all stood in front of me. Anna's eyes were red with hate. Melody, why? Why do you get to have so many people love you, and still steal my Louis? Why? Jason held my shoulder and coldly looked at Anna. If you want to throw a tantrum, go back to your house. Anna laughed, but then started crying. The Smiths. The Smiths are gone, Melody. It's all because of you. You caused the Smiths to go bankrupt. To be honest, whether the Smiths go bankrupt or not, I don't really care. I just wanted to kick Anna out. I'm not a saint, I hold grudges. I hate how unfairly my parents treated me. I hate that Louis never once looked back at me. And I hate how Anna shamelessly took what was mine. Why should I care about them? Suffering is suffering, there's no need to exaggerate it to promote something. But what if the Smiths going bankrupt had something to do with me? If I didn't go back to Louis, he would do everything he could to suppress the company. I'd been working at the company for years, I knew they were not doing as well as before. But even a starved camel is bigger than a horse. No matter how weak, it would still help Louis in business. But now, Louis demanded I return to him or he would pull the funding for the Smiths. Our companies were closely tied. Louis doing this was like cutting off his own arm. Would he really go that far to force me back? Has he lost his mind? Anna, before she left, no longer had her usual arrogance. She looked at me like I was her mortal enemy. Before you showed up, I was the carefree princess of the Smiths, loved by everyone. Since you came, I've had nothing. Melody, I don't want you to go back to the Smiths, but I don't want to see Mom and Dad go bankrupt either. It's their life's work. Jason threw a teacup near Anna's feet. The Smiths brought this on themselves. Why blame Melody? I quickly grabbed Jason, afraid he'd get even angrier. Everything happening felt so surreal. Louis, who once seemed so dignified, was now stooping low. As long as Louis didn't relent, the Smiths would pay the price. Either bankruptcy or imprisonment for the chairman. I couldn't believe it, I even thought Anna was acting out. But Anna couldn't stop crying acting out. I was happiest, but everyone who loved me left one by one. Melody, I wish this was just acting out. After Anna left, Jason never let go of my hand. Eric came by knocking, calling us to dinner. I was looking into the Smiths case. For months, I stayed offline to avoid seeing people mock me. But today when I searched for keywords, Louis's name popped up automatically. And with it, news about him. I read the news, feeling slightly shocked. 2 months ago, Louis publicly stated on an official account that his engagement with the Smiths only stood with Melody. A month ago, in an interview, Louis regretfully said that his wife would only be me. 2 weeks ago, a new branch Louis opened in the country temporarily used my name. In front of everyone, Louis put on a show of being deeply in love with me, letting everyone know he was waiting for me. Melody. Eric had left at some point, closing the door behind him. Jason, with a somber face, took my computer and gripped my chin. Melody, look at me. His voice was urgent, his grip tight. I winced. Jason, what's wrong? Jason didn't speak, his usually playful eyes filled with tension and fear. His eyes were red as he asked, Melody, do you want to go back? Back to Louis? I tried pushing Jason away, explaining, no, I don't. But Jason didn't believe me, staring intently. I softened my tone, I'm not going to be a saint just to prevent the Smiths' bankruptcy by going back to Louis. But you love Louis, don't you? For the first time, Jason's usually confident face showed uncertainty. I used to think if Louis didn't love you, I'd have a chance, but now he's back for you. Melody, will you really not go back to him? I couldn't understand why Jason was saying this, staring at him in disbelief. Jason bitterly smiled and looked away. His deep voice carried a trace of mockery and helplessness. Those 6 years, I saw how much you loved Louis. I saw it all. It felt like he was certain I would go back, but I was puzzled. I met Louis and fell in love with him at 16. I've only known Jason for half a year. What did he mean by that? Jason wouldn't say more. He let go of me and said, Melody, I'll support any decision you make. As he turned to leave, I panicked and grabbed him. Jason, make it clear. What do you mean by seen it? Jason looked back at me and smiled softly. He used to have a wicked smile, always hard to deal with. But during the time we've been together, he's been gentle every day. Today was no exception, though with a hint of bitterness. Melody, you used to dream of marrying Louis. Are you really willing to not go back to him? I hesitated for a moment, but it wasn't about going back. I thought about how my biggest dream used to be marrying Louis. But now, I looked at Jason's handsome face, meeting his deep, ink-black eyes. Jason was an exception. He taught me what love truly is. Even if I married Louis, I would still be a humble version of myself, not truly free, so the one I love is Jason. I hesitated for a few seconds. Jason seemed to know something, left in a huff, saying, get some sleep. Then he turned and walked away. I watched his tall back disappear and slumped in the chair. The computer beside me still displayed the news about Louis's new company, named after me. In the photo, Louis looked a bit haggard but still handsome. He talked about regret, how he only understood its value after losing it. I messaged Joy, sending her the news. Joy replied after a while, Louis used to hang around the company building every day, reminiscing. But I think he deserved it. Jason's so much better than Louis. That's why I didn't tell you. I even told others not to. Does he like me that much? I typed. Joy replied, I don't know, but any decent man wouldn't abandon you at the engagement party for another woman. It's not about liking or not, it's about character. I tossed my phone aside, my head throbbing. Joy messaged again, I've been hoping you'd be with Jason for almost a year now. Don't go back to Louis. I was stunned. I've only known Jason for 6 months, haven't I? Joy said, no, a year ago we had that bidding case. You two showed up together back then. I snapped awake and asked about the incident a year ago. I couldn't wait for Joy's reply, so I called her. Joy answered instantly, seriously? You don't remember anything from a year ago? I remember the bidding, but what's that got to do with Jason? A lot. Joy was extremely excited. A year ago, weren't we stood up on that contract? The chairman was furious. We had no chance of finding a supplier at the right price in such a short time. You dragged me around to find cooperation, and eventually got an offer at a super low price. Yeah, but wasn't our partner another company? What's it got to do with Jason? Everything. Do you know who the president originally wanted to give that deal to? Jason's company. I was completely stunned. Winning that bid solidified my position at the company, and my career soared, leading to today where I stand tall. It was because of that Louis recognized my abilities and agreed to our childhood engagement. Otherwise, being the eldest Smith daughter would mean nothing without capability. Joy continued, when Jason knew you were the competitor, he withdrew his bid. I was puzzled. Isn't Jason's company mainly in the gaming industry? Our needed supplies had nothing to do with that. Your boyfriend Jason doesn't just own one company. And there's more, of course. Why else would I hope for you too? More? Joy almost screamed. After that company broke the contract because the guy made a move on you. Lewis didn't help at all. It was you, in a fit of anger, who splashed a drink in the guy's face and slapped him. I remembered the slimy man from that negotiation who tried to test Lewis's attitude towards me. Lewis was busy comforting Anna, leaving me alone at the table. The man became arrogant, thinking I was just a drinking companion. I beat him up, and when arguing with Lewis afterward, he just frowned. You can solve problems without me, but what if your sister's in danger? His self-righteous tone made me not want to think about it anymore. Joy continued, after our deal fell through, someone broke the guy's hand. And guess who? Jason. You say Jason's arrogant, but the man didn't offend him. Why would he do that? The guy's hand wouldn't be broken if it didn't touch you. Joy kept rambling. 6 months ago, you wanted to buy a jade for your mom's birthday. Jason was there too. He usually gets what he wants. He wanted that jade, but dropped out when you bid. Jason ignored me. I messaged Jason to ask if what Joy said was true. I called, but he didn't answer. He's mad at me. I felt guilty and sent Jason another message explaining, I didn't mean to hesitate, Jason. Please don't be mad at me. Still no reply. Will he really ignore me because of a misunderstanding? Holding the phone, my heart ached more than watching Lewis put a ring on Anna. Losing Lewis felt like relief. But losing Jason? I couldn't imagine. Whether or not Jason did all those things for me. I just wanted Jason, only him. The Smiths had nothing to do with me, Lewis even less. After making my decision, I got up early the next morning. I told Eric I was going to find Jason. Eric wasn't surprised. Go. You should have gone when Jason left yesterday. I was even more eager to see Jason, but when I opened the door, the Smiths' parents were standing right in front of me. My foster parents didn't expect that they'd meet again after 10 years. William and Susan wanted me to go back. I didn't want to go back. I wanted to find Jason. My foster parents held on to me, saying we should talk it over since we're all family. I hesitated for a moment, realizing we should probably have a clear conversation. So, I thought I'd text Jason to ask him to wait. But before I could send the message, Susan knelt in front of me. Melody, please, save Anna. Mom is begging you. My foster parents quickly pulled Susan up, asking what was going on and to talk it out properly. I didn't get to send my message. Then, I heard Susan say, Lewis changed his mind. If you don't go back, Anna will go to jail. Melody, this can't happen. I'd rather go to jail myself than let Anna suffer. Melody, she's your sister. Can you really let her go to jail? William looked worried, and my foster parents just asked one question. Go back? Where? Melody is about to get married to her boyfriend. Where do you want her to go? My foster parents adored Jason. They believed that only with Jason could I lead a carefree life. They thought I could marry Jason too, but William and Susan came to beg me to marry Lewis, to keep Anna out of jail. How powerful Lewis must be to hit my weakness. How could I make my elderly biological parents beg me? But I hated this too. In these few months I'd been back in the town, they hadn't sent a single message or phone call. The first time they came looking for me was for Anna. I didn't want to deal with them at all, but Susan forced me. If I didn't agree, she'd just kneel there, and William wouldn't stop her. With a miserable smile, I asked them, have you ever thought of me as your daughter? William evaded my gaze, while Susan cried, Melody, you're Melody. I already wronged you. I can't wrong Anna too. Right, I was Melody, and I had to yield to my sister. I had suffered so much already, a bit more humiliation was nothing. How laughable. My foster parents felt angry but didn't chase them off, sighing all the while in pity for me. Eric rolled up his sleeves to shoo them away. Get out. Melody is too polite to kick you out. We have nothing to do with you. Leave now, or I'll call the police. William, helpless but strong, said, Melody, you have one day to think things over. Didn't you always want to marry Louis? Then they left my foster parents' house with Susan. My foster parents felt sorry for me. If we had known this was how it would be with your biological parents, we wouldn't have sent you back then. I lowered my head, hiding the chaotic emotions inside. I didn't want my foster parents to worry about me. It's okay. At least, I learned a lot over there. And what I learned would be enough to turn things around. But before making any decision, I had to find Jason. Whether he ignored me or not, I had to see him. I put on a simple makeup and felt a little nervous as I approached Jason's door. I was really afraid Jason was still mad at me. So, I texted Joy last minute, asking, what do I do if my boyfriend is mad at me because of a misunderstanding and won't talk to me? Joy replied, that's easy. Just sleep with him. I threw my phone into my bag. I shouldn't have asked Joy. Taking a deep breath, I rang Jason's doorbell. The door opened. Jason stood there in casual loungewear, his white clavicle showing a hint of sexiness. He looked down at me with his usual lazy demeanor. I thought you were looking for Louis. I bit my lip, hesitated no more, and hugged him. Jason, I missed you. Jason's body stiffened. After a while, he reached to push me away. His tone was cold. If you still have Louis in your heart, don't even try flirting with me. I clung to him, boldly. I'm not here to flirt. Before I could finish, I knew from Jason's temperament that he would push me away. But how could I let him succeed? I tightened my hug, whispered in his ear, Jason, I came to sleep with you. Jason's hand stopped in midair. He squinted his dark eyes, looking dangerous yet enchanting. Want to sleep with me? I bit my lip and nodded, yes, so are you in or not? His eyebrows raised slightly. Seriously? Before I could respond, he tapped my cheek with his long fingers. Who taught you this? Where'd you get the nerve? Before he could finish the last word, I stood on tiptoe and kissed his moist lips. Though inexperienced and awkward, Jason, after a moment of surprise, grabbed my waist, took the lead, and kicked the door shut with his long leg. Held in his arms, we kissed for a long time until I was nearly breathless. Then he let go with a low chuckle. Melody, you're really clueless. He ruffled my hair and tidied my open neckline. It's late. I'll take you home. I opened my eyes wide, unbelieving. Are you not capable? And immediately regretted it. He pulled me closer, his hot body against mine, voice dangerously low. Do you really want to know? My fingers trembled, tempted to flee. But I knew deep down, if it were Jason, I was willing. Summoning my courage, I looked at him. Yes, I want to. Alright, don't regret it. He glanced down at me and, gripping my wrist, pinned me against the wall. His large hand protected my head from hitting the wall, his other hand interlocked with mine. He kissed me passionately and gently, stopping just when I thought he'd continue. His eyes filled with restraint as his husky voice asked, Sure? I didn't speak, just kissed his throat. When things got heated, Jason whispered in my ear, Melody, let's get married tomorrow. I cried and begged, but he didn't stop. The aftermath of indulgence was back pain, pain everywhere. When I woke up, Jason still wouldn't let me go. He played with my hair and held my hand tightly. My body was covered in his marks. I lay in his arms, covering my face. Jason kissed the top of my head, raising an eyebrow. Shall we go register the marriage now? I have everything ready. In a muffled voice, I hesitated. Are we really doing this? Why not? Jason lowered his head to kiss me, and rudely thrust forward. I blushed instantly. Okay, we'll go. But my documents are at the Smiths. I still need to go back to City A. No problem, I'll go with you. Jason helped me dress carefully and kissed me again. Finally, I've got my Melody. After not returning to the Smiths for 3 months, I realized they were not as prosperous as before. The most obvious sign was that half of the servants were gone, it seemed quite desolate. But that had nothing to do with me. Anna didn't expect my return. She arrogantly blocked my way, sneering, "I thought you were so lofty, but you came back the moment you heard Louis needed you?" I walked inside to get my documents and then deliberately showed them to Anna. "Yes, I'm marrying Louis." "Are you happy?" "After all your scheming, Louis still chose me. Didn't see that coming, did you?" I intentionally provoked Anna. Taking away what she desired most made me feel much better. Sure enough, Anna got furious. "No way. Mom and Dad only recognize me as the Smith's heir. I can bring Louis more benefits. Who do you think you are? Just a lowlife from the countryside. You can't marry Louis." Anna tried to snatch the documents from me, but I dodged and kicked her behind the knee. "Anna, if I'm a lowlife, what does that make you? Don't forget, we share the same blood." Unable to beat me, Anna screamed like a madwoman. William and Susan rushed out, defending Anna and preparing to confront me as usual. "You begged me to come back. Louis wants to marry me, and Anna can't stand it. It's her own problem." Their faces showed their inner struggle. They loved Anna but couldn't give up the Smiths' wealth, so they had to let me marry Louis. Of course, I wouldn't actually marry Louis. Making a mistake once was enough. Being stupid twice would be my fault. I easily walked out of the Smith's house. Jason was waiting not far away, leaning against the car with a black baseball cap, his jawline sharp, his thin lips drawn into a straight line. "It's been 20 minutes. If you didn't come out, I was going to visit your mom myself." Jason was worried I'd be bullied, waiting outside the whole time. I ran towards him, jumping. "Look, I got it." The corners of his lips lifted slightly. He reached out and took my hand. Under the brim of the black cap, his attractive face with painted-like brows and high nose bridge came into view. He kissed my face with his cold lips. "Melody, let's go back to the small town and get my adoptive parents' consent, then we'll get the license." My adoptive parents already agreed. But I didn't notice someone behind me. A broad hand took the document from me, and a cold voice asked, "Who gave you permission to get married secretly?" Louis appeared behind me. Jason saw him first. He pulled me into his arms. Before I realized, he put the baseball cap on my head. The brim was so low I couldn't see who was in front of me. I only heard Jason's arrogant voice, "Don't look, it hurts the eyes." I stopped my hand from removing the cap. Jason then took the document back and stuffed it into my hands. Louis's indifferent voice mocked, "Jason, she's just using you to forget me. What are you so proud of?" My heart skipped a beat, fearing Jason might misunderstand. Before I could explain, Jason pushed me into the car behind him. "Get in and wait for me." Louis stood at a distance, watching. I hesitated, but before entering, I grabbed Jason's arm. "No need to get mad at him. He insulted you. If I don't teach him a lesson, I won't let this go." Jason clenched his fists, veins popping on his long and powerful arm. I held him back. In front of Louis, I bent down and kissed Jason's lips. "Still mad?" Jason froze, narrowing his dark eyes dangerously as he looked at me. Feeling embarrassed, I softly pleaded, "I'm worried about you getting hurt. Don't be mad." Jason instantly relaxed, like a lion who's been tamed, quietly looked at me. Louis angrily called out, "Melody, I thought you liked me? You're nuts." I couldn't hold back anymore. I had wanted to curse him since Louis dramatically insisted he had deep feelings for me. No sane person would act like this. "I did like you before, but I don't like you now." "Why?" Louis asked furiously. "No reason. I just don't like you anymore, Louis. I've never felt love with you. You chose me only to avoid people questioning your character, right? You named your new company after me to play on sentimental values so people would choose your products, didn't you? So just drop the act." Louis was speechless. Jason smirked, pinching my cheek. "My Melody is awesome." "It's because you taught me well," I echoed Jason's words, not looking at Louis again, getting into the car, and asking Jason to drive away. Louis stood there, watching for a long time, but what use was it? I wouldn't look back. All those moments I wanted to be with him were shattered by his indifference. So much heartache, so much humility. Did he ever once care about me? No. I felt a sense of loss and sighed. Jason's car suddenly stopped. He turned to look at me. I snapped out of my thoughts and asked, "What's wrong?" Jason placed one hand on the steering wheel, his eyes narrowing slightly, thinking about Louis? No. But when I met Jason's gaze, I confessed honestly, yes, I was. But it's not because I like him. I just suddenly realized that he's no longer the person I used to admire. I remembered when I was 16 and liked him the most. He was full of ambition, handsome, and cool. He was always a pristine figure in my heart. But later, his eyes showed too much greed and desire, while my love became too humble. All the good things vanished at that engagement party. I pointed to the road in front of me and told Jason, I used to love walking down this road because I could walk home with Louis, but now, thinking back, it's filled with unpleasant memories. On this road, I always watched Louis's back, watched him protect Anna, watched his cold and distant demeanor. I have a way to make this memory pleasant, Jason suddenly said. I was puzzled, what way? Jason didn't answer but instead unbuckled his seatbelt and leaned toward me. His handsome face came closer, and he gently kissed me on the face. I opened my eyes wide in surprise, my eyelashes trembling, a bit shy. Why so sudden? Jason held the back of my head, moving in even closer. His voice was low and incredibly seductive. When you're kissing, you need to focus. So, I focused on the kiss. When I almost couldn't breathe, he let go of me and kissed my forehead. From now on, when you walk down this road, you'll only think of me and this kiss. I couldn't help but smile. Jason, how many relationships have you been in? How are you so good at this? Just one. Jason returned to his serious demeanor and focused on driving. As the car turned the next corner, he continued, but in my dreams, I've been in countless relationships with you. I hugged Jason's arm and teased him, Jason, thank you for loving me. Jason didn't say anything. He glanced at me and then looked back at the road. Melody, please let me drive without distractions. I'm not distracting you from driving. When you act cute, I can't resist. He sighed, sit tight, we'll talk at home. Wow, you have such poor self-control. I was about to boldly tease Jason when my phone started vibrating non-stop. I had to pause and answer it. Hello, what's up? It was Susan. She questioned me over the phone. Melody, I asked you to coax Louis. What are you doing? Why is Louis putting pressure on us again? Why should I try to coax Louis? I chuckled coldly. If he wants Anna, haven't you already given up on me? You didn't expect him to actually like me, did you? Melody, don't be stubborn. We're doing all this for the Smiths. Really? I put the phone on speaker, but, Mom, I've already married Jason. I won't be with Louis. Melody. What did you say? You got married without telling your parents? Did you inform me when you secretly swapped me out for Anna at the engagement party? I've already married someone. The Smiths' issues, you can rely on Anna. With determination, I hung up the phone. I used to long for their love, and what did I get? Used when it was convenient, discarded when it wasn't. They only cared about Anna, not me. So why should I degrade myself for them? Jason held my hand, comforting me. I shook my head at him. I'm not that fragile. The car stopped in front of a white villa. He got out, walked over, and opened the door for me. Melody, this is my home, and it's your home too. If you still care for your adoptive parents, we can bring them here. He patted my shoulder and hugged me. You have us now. My downcast mood lifted instantly. Yes, even if my biological parents didn't love me, I still had my adoptive parents who treated me like their own, and Eric, who was so good to me, as well as this man who always put me first. I shouldn't deny or abandon myself because of those who don't love me. Jason, thank you. I leaned into Jason's chest, looking at the dreamy white villa and holding his hand. I've changed my mind. Jason looked down at me. About what? I used to want to sever ties with the Smiths, but now, I want to take back the Smiths. I gazed into the distance, speaking slowly. I am the Smiths' rightful heir. Why should I be beneath Anna? Why should I humble myself? I started working at the company at 18, making money for it. No one knows the Smiths' operations better than I do. Jason's eyes were gentle and caring. He ran his fingers through my hair, doting and indulgent. Why not? Whatever you want to do, I'll be there with you. What I want is for the Smiths' parents to watch me take everything from them. The first step was to make Anna resign voluntarily. Naturally, she was unwilling. But she had to pay for the mess she created. No one can protect someone forever. The Smiths' parents couldn't bear to see Anna suffer, but the shareholders wouldn't allow it. Additionally, I demanded that if Anna didn't resign, would have nothing to do with the Smiths. Return to Louis? Forget it. William had no choice but to agree because his health was deteriorating. Rather than watch the company collapse, it was better to hand it over to me. I started handling company affairs. The matters were complex. I worked overtime for a month straight. Even when I went to get the marriage certificate with Jason, I was busy with company matters. Luckily, after Anna left, she stopped bothering. Meetings were busy but fulfilling. I just didn't keep in touch with Jason much. Sometimes when I had a moment to myself, I'd wonder if Jason and I were really married. Then I'd message Jason, and he'd reply instantly, "I'm here." Or, "I sent you some food. Remember to eat." Or, "I'll pick you up when you're done." That calmed me and I'd dive into the next case. With Jason by my side, I didn't fear any hardship. After a series of overtime work, I finally got a break. I was invited to a party hosted by a lady in City A. At this party, my business contact would be present. I needed to clinch this deal to gain respect and revive the company. Negotiating required socializing and drinking. I brought Joy with me, dressed in a tailored teal dress, hair up, looking elegant. I carried it off perfectly, and my cultivated grace over the years stole the spotlight from many other women there. But I wasn't concerned about that. I walked into the party in high heels, searching for my target. Anna was there too. As we brushed past each other, she whispered sarcastically in my ear, "Do well. The Smiths belong to me. Maybe I'll give you a raise someday." I smirked, my eyes cold. "Sure, let's see if you can laugh until the end." Arrogant much? Anna suddenly glared at me viciously. "You think getting through this crisis will make our parents like you?" Silly Melody, do you know why Louis agreed to the engagement change initially? I froze mid-step. Anna was pleased with my reaction and continued, "Louis married me because the Smiths will publicly support him in every event. That's a strong alliance. If he married you, Melody, what could you bring to him?" TSK. Her eyes scanned me disdainfully, just a love-starved country girl, named as the Smiths' successor by our parents. "It's me." I looked at her with a chilling stare. Anna's bright red lips curled. "Do you know why our parents chose me as the heir?" She leaned closer, studying my expression with every word. "Because I begged them. Yeah, use the illness act you hate so much." But it worked. She gestured dramatically. I held a knife to my wrist. Just a light press, and forget the engagement, they'd give me the moon. She couldn't help but laugh to herself, eager to see me beg. Time passed silently. I just looked at her quietly. Knowing the truth, I thought I'd be mad or sad, but I just chuckled softly. "Anna, the more you lack something, the more you want to prove it. The one who's love-starved and twisted is you." I gazed at her with pity and sympathy. How pathetic is it that you can only validate your worth through feigning illness or suicide? Anna didn't expect my reaction and her smile faltered. She glared at me venomously. "Melody, why so cocky? You'll always be beneath me. I'm the Smiths' true heiress." I shook my head, amused. "Anna, you're not even qualified to be my rival." I turned away in my high heels, leaving her hysterical rage behind. Joy followed closely, fuming. "What does she mean? The chairman already decided on her as successor. When the company's struggling, it's you who's negotiating? And Louis, the jerk, giving up on you for some benefits, now pretending to be devoted? And your parents? Joy was infuriated, summing up, "They all suck. It doesn't matter." I swirled my wine glass. I didn't grow up with them. Their favoritism for Anna is understandable. I just didn't expect them to go this far. "Melody, don't be sad." Joy looked at me sympathetically. "Are you really going to save the company and then hand it to Anna? She's a dunce. You'll end up working for her?" I drained my wine glass. "That's my dad's plan. Otherwise, Anna wouldn't have agreed to leave initially. You suffer, resurrect the company, and then Anna takes over? That's just too much." "Take over?" I sneered. "Let's see if she has what it takes." Then I set down my glass and walked into the dance floor. I found a chance to talk to my business contact, but he shook his head and said, "It's break time, no business talk. All right then, I won't disturb you, Mr. Sam." I turned with slight regret, but the young woman beside Mr. Sam stopped me, asking, "Melody, where did you get your dress? It's unique." With my back to Mr. Sam, a trace of satisfaction flashed in my eyes. "I wore this dress on purpose. Mr. Sam is known for loving his family, never letting work cut into family time, hence no business discussions outside work. I had done my homework and knew his daughter loved bespoke gowns. So, I seized the chance, telling her this dress was specially made for me and I'd have it made for her if she liked. I successfully got Mr. Sam's daughter's contact and arranged to bring the tailor over another day. Seeing our friendly chat, Mr. Sam said, "Let me see your proposal." I immediately took it from Joy and handed it to Mr. Sam. "There's no rush, look at it when you have time." With a single party, I achieved my goal. I should have left, but Anna's words made me stay anytime. The people here could be my future business partners. So, I took every chance to chat with different people, men or women. Gossip or business talk, there was always some information I could use. I just drank a bit too much, and my head felt a little dizzy. Joy stayed with me all the time, so I wasn't worried. I leaned on the sofa in the lounge, planning to wait until the banquet was over before going back. It was quiet in the lounge, and I closed my eyes for a while to rest. Footsteps approached. Mistaking them for Joy's, I asked her to get me a glass of water. But Joy didn't respond like she usually did. Instead, a glass of water was handed to me. It didn't feel like Joy. I opened my eyes suddenly and saw Louis. I quickly sat up, putting some distance between us. "What are you doing here?" I asked. "Are we that unfamiliar now, Melody?" Louis's long fingers held the glass, his gaze lowered, looking somewhat desolate. "Is Jason really okay with you working so hard?" "I have my own career, he supports me, and that's enough." After a brief silence, Louis spoke again. "Melody, why won't you come back to me?" He put the glass down, and the bright light made his handsome features even more defined. The deep emotion in his eyes was something I hadn't seen in the 6 years I liked him. "But Louis, we're in the past now," I said. I got up and walked toward the door. I didn't want to stay alone with Louis. Louis blocked me before I could open the door. His dark eyes looked at me. "Melody, you hate the Smiths, right? I can help you destroy them easily, as long as you come back to me." "Are you crazy?" I pushed him away without courtesy. "Do you know why I don't like you, Louis?" He frowned. I continued coldly, "Because you're arrogant. You always do what you want. But Jason is different. He considers what I want. So, I'm not using Jason to forget you. I'm with Jason because he taught me what love is. Louis, don't disgust me, and don't disgust Jason either." I hurriedly left the banquet, my high heels clapping against the floor. I wanted to see Jason the most at this moment. I quickly told Joy and rushed out. The high heels were too high, I lost my balance. A strong arm caught me. Then a familiar lazy voice sounded above my head. "How is it that whenever I look away for a minute, you almost get into trouble? Maybe I should tie you to my side?" Seeing Jason, I happily hugged him. How come every time I want to see you, you show up? Hearing my words, Jason raised an eyebrow slightly. Miss me? I hugged his neck and kissed his Adam's apple. Missed you, I said. Jason's eyes darkened. He pulled me down. Don't mess around. Then he held my hand tightly. I smiled at him. So, why did you suddenly come here? My dad ordered me to come, Jason said casually, putting his coat over my shoulders. He said there are business partners here, so he wanted me to come down. He glanced at my dress for a few seconds, then wrapped me up tightly and said sternly, from now on, no wearing this if I'm not around. Under the hazy moonlight, I stood on tiptoe and got close to him. Jason, why can't I wear this? Don't I look good? In the moonlight, Jason squinted his beautiful peach blossom eyes at me. His gaze carried a hint of mischief and danger. You look good, he said, which is why I don't want others to see. So, behave yourself, or... He paused, fastening the coat around me, and whispered in my ear, I might spoil you otherwise, but not in bed. So be good. Blushing, I obediently followed him. Jason picked me up, frowning at my high heels. Don't wear heels this high if you don't have to. I'll be busy with company matters soon. Melody, what if I can't take care of you? I leaned in his arms, stunned by his words. Jason always hated his dad because of his stepmother, so why go back home now? Before I could ask, Jason carried me to his car and handed me a document. I know what you want to do, so here's a little help. Opening it, I happily hugged and kissed him. How did you know this was exactly what I needed? Jason smiled and accepted my kiss. Happy? He asked. I nodded, my face glowing with excitement. Yeah. I've been collecting info secretly, but it was never enough. Now, with your help, it's almost complete. Jason fastened my seatbelt, then kissed the corner of my mouth. Melody, you're amazing. You'll definitely succeed. Putting the document away, I asked, so why did you suddenly decide to go home? Is it okay for you to go back? I had some idea about Jason's family issues but never asked much. He just held my hand and replied, what's the big deal? It's my own home. I just didn't feel comfortable because they're not my real family. But now, Melody, I have you. As for going back. Jason paused, slightly turning his gaze to look at me. I told you, Melody, whatever Lewis can give you, I can give you. And what Lewis can't give you, I'll still give you. Touched deeply, I hugged his arm tightly. Remember, I don't want anyone else, just you. Mr. Sam read my proposal and was interested, so he scheduled a meeting in the afternoon to discuss collaboration. But I didn't expect to run into Lewis there too. He sat next to Mr. Sam, his long legs crossed, and fixed his gaze on me the moment I entered. Mr. Sam asked me, Melody, your proposal is quite innovative. Can you talk about your initial intention? My marketing plan was very different from the past methods. Mr. Sam liked it but was hesitant about such a bold move. If my reasons didn't convince Mr. Sam, this cooperation could fall apart. Lewis glanced at me, as if waiting for me to plead with him. Lewis held significant influence in City A. With Lewis's help, Mr. Sam wouldn't question anything further. He waited confidently and decisively for me to speak. I couldn't be bothered to look at him. I stood up directly and clearly explained the business model, product benchmarks, and core competitiveness of the proposal to Mr. Sam. Well done, Melody. Let's sign the contract, Mr. Sam said, inviting me to join for a meal. Lewis joined too. He sat on my left and suddenly said, I kind of miss the times we fought side by side. Mr. Sam didn't understand much Chinese, but he understood the phrase fought side by side. He then looked at me and Lewis ambiguously, asking, so you two are a couple? Mr. Sam, you got it wrong. I waved the ring on my hand, I am already married. My husband is Jason. I'll introduce you to him sometime. Louis's polite smile didn't change, but I knew he was on the verge of anger. Cutting my steak with a knife and fork, I said casually, Louis is very devoted to his fiancée. Rumor has it he swapped her on the spot at their engagement party. Melody. Mr. Sam, not understanding the tension between us, excused himself. Louis smirked at me, are you still mad at me? Jealous? He reached out to hold my hand, he blocked it with my fork. He hesitated for a moment. I set down my utensils and said coldly, old things get replaced by new ones, especially the rotten ones. You were already replaced a long time ago. Louis's face stiffened. I didn't look at him anymore and stood up to leave the restaurant. The cool evening breeze touched my face as I stepped out. Just then, I got a call from Jason. Melody, are you done? Jason's voice, with its magical quality, instantly dispelled all my fatigue. I told him playfully, yes, I'm done. Where are you? I assumed he was at work, but Jason said, look up. Surprised, I looked over. Jason leaned against a sports car. Tall, with long legs and perfect proportions, his charming and bold demeanor softened when he looked at me. I immediately hung up and ran to him. Jason embraced me tightly, ruffled my hair, and said, take it easy. Hugging his lean waist, I confessed, I ran into Louis again. Jason's large hand gently rubbed my waist. He was unsurprised. I saw. Saw what? I looked up at his finely chiseled jawline, perplexed. With his cool demeanor, something felt off. I turned around to see. Sure enough, Louis, like a lingering ghost, had followed me. No wonder Jason's aura grew colder. I quickly kissed Jason's jaw. Don't be mad. You know I don't like him. It was just a work meeting. Are you really jealous? With every word I said, Louis's face darkened more. Jason looked down at me, gripping my waist tighter. Why would I be mad at you? It's just some people are an eyesore. Then let's not look, I said, holding Jason's arm, pushing him towards the car. Let's go. I'm starving. I didn't eat much just now. Jason exchanged a distant glance with Louis, then opened the car door for me. Sitting in the car, I glanced in the rearview mirror. Louis stood there silently, his usually calm eyes filled with sorrow and pain. He stared at me deeply. In the 6 years I knew him, I had never seen such an expression. But what for? Lost in thought, Jason turned my chin with a firm grip. He looked at me with dangerous eyes, feeling bad for him. No way, I immediately refuted. Don't overthink things. I'm not jealous. His tone was calm, but his expression remained the same, driving quietly. Since being with me, Jason had controlled his emotions. Previously domineering and reckless, now he didn't express his anger all right. I poked his firm arm muscles. It's good you control your emotions, but I'll allow you to show jealousy. He lifted his eyes, looking at me proudly. Not a chance. I had to coax him. So, what would it take for you not to be jealous? The car stopped in front of a high-end restaurant. Jason unbuckled his seatbelt, reaching out, give me a kiss, and we'll consider the rest later. Without waiting for my response, he held me and kissed me deeply. By the end, my lipstick was gone. I fixed my makeup angrily, glaring at him. Jason leaned on the window, his eyes filled with vivid color, giving him a playful air. Very charming. I glanced back while fixing my makeup, feeling mischievous. Jason, come closer, I beckoned. Obeying, Jason leaned in. I swiftly planted a kiss on his neck, leaving a mark. Pleased with my work, I said, this is your ownership mark. Unbothered, Jason took my makeup mirror, checked the mark, and raised his eyebrows. Not enough overwhelmed, I quickly opened the car door. Jason followed me inside the restaurant. The waiter led us inside. Before we got close, we saw Anna, William, and Susan sitting together. They sat in the middle of the hall, and Anna's sweet talk made our parents very happy. Mom, it's my fault I'm not as capable as Melody. But I promise to be good to you and Dad in the future, Anna said with a sweet voice. William looked at Anna lovingly and said, Anna, you don't need to be super capable. Handling business is tough. Just let Melody do it. Anna noticed my gaze first and smiled smugly at me. That won't do. I'm also their child. It shouldn't be only Melody working hard, right? Besides, I'm supposed to take over the company someday. I watched quietly as Jason took my hand from behind. Anna exchanged a glance with Jason and paused, her eyes revealing a complex emotion. Susan, not yet noticing me, put some of Anna's favorite food on her plate. Anna, you don't get it. A company has managers and decision makers. You're not well, so you shouldn't stress yourself. The power is all yours, and Melody will help you well. William added, yes, your mom and I may have stepped back, but we'll still guide you. No need to rush. Anna glanced at me again, looking very considerate and slightly pitiful. In that case, why not give everything to Melody? I'm so frail, you always have to worry about me. Worry about what? Susan put down her chopsticks. You're the one we worry about. If it wasn't for her being good at her job, I wouldn't want her in the company at all. And what about the marriage we arranged? She had the nerve to marry Jason behind our backs. I couldn't hold back any longer. Mom, Jason is my husband. Jason squeezed my hand tighter, his eyes deep. He wasn't angry about my mom's attitude, but he felt sorry for me. Susan turned and saw me, her disgust unwavering, not showing a trace of guilt for being caught, especially seeing our intertwined hands. Her anger rose. If it weren't for your reckless actions, would our family be in this crisis? I sneered at her remark. Mom, you should thank me. If it weren't for me, do you think you'd still be sitting here comfortably as a wealthy lady? Susan, enraged, raised her hand to slap me. I didn't move. Jason stepped in, his tall frame shielding me. He caught Susan's hand, his gaze icy. You're touching my wife. Understand this, my temper is not good. If you ever insult her again, don't blame me for being rude. Susan shook with anger but dared not say a word. William's face darkened. This is a family meal, no need to cause a scene. Jason released Susan's hand with a smirk. Family? Funny, never seen a family so ready to sacrifice a daughter without caring about her feelings. He laughed coldly, then protectively held me. I'll have to tell my dad there are worse parents out there than him. William, looking defeated, said, this is our family matter, Jason, best if you stay out of it. Jason's eyes glinted with coldness. Fine, I won't interfere. But treat my Melody better. Otherwise, the Smiths? I could destroy them easily. How dare you? Susan screamed but, wary of Jason, pointed at me in frustration. Is this your great husband? How can you let him ruin our life's work? Jason, lazily holding my hand, deflected all their anger onto himself. His eyes were incredibly tender as he looked at me. A company? If Melody wants one, I'll give her one. Your life's work is just her practice toy. Get it straight, it's not Melody who needs you, but you who rely on her. With that, Jason stopped talking. He wrapped an arm around my shoulder and looked at me gently. Hungry? Let's go get something good to eat. As we left, Susan slumped angrily in her chair while William's face was full of defeat. His recent health issues made it hard even to manage the company, and with talents like Jason around, his words were indeed true. As for Anna, she watched Jason's retreating figure, eyes gleaming with a hint of eagerness. A month later, the company temporarily overcame its crisis. Joy reported on the work progress when the secretary walked in. Boss, Anna called. She asked if you're coming home for dinner today. I frowned. Lately, Anna frequently asked me home for dinner. She's been showing unusual concern for Jason and me, and even apologized, saying she was immature before and finally realized Melody is the best. After fighting for over a decade, I thought we'd never get along. So her sudden niceness surprised me. Boss, Anna's still waiting for your reply. Are you going home tonight? I waved the secretary away. Joy, holding her laptop, puffed irritably. Melody, As your subordinate, I have to say, those people at home aren't worth your sympathy. No forgiveness, got it? I shook my head. I won't. But I'm curious about what Anna's up to. Had the secretary turned down Anna? If she truly had plans, she'd come again. Surely enough, William called me half a month before the board meeting. Melody, Mom and I cooked for you. Are you coming home today? For the first time, William's voice was soft with me. Seeing my hesitation, William added, your marriage to Jason, your mom and I approve. We won't interfere anymore. But since you're married, you ought to bring Jason home, right? You know, for a proper introduction. Yeah, he's right. Jason deserves that sense of ceremony, and I shouldn't skip it. So I agreed to bring Jason home with me. When Jason found out, he nodded. Sure, I'll go back with you. The Smiths' house lit up like before, showcasing a fake warm scene. William and Susan were waiting for Jason and me at the door. Anna, dressed in an elegant white outfit, waved at me from afar. Looking closely, her style today was quite similar to mine, but I didn't think much of it. Jason and I walked side by side. As we got closer, I saw Louis too. Jason looked hostile, habitually squeezing my palm. Anna, as if unaware of past events, clung to Louis's arm and sweetly smiled. Melody, Mom made so many dishes for you. Everyone's gathered today, let's be happy. I nodded slightly in response. Jason didn't even glance her way. He just put his arm around me and led us inside. It turned out to be an ordinary family dinner with small talk. William and Susan didn't bring up the past. Anna actively tried to liven up the atmosphere. Anyone who didn't know better would think we were a perfectly happy family. And just as Jason and I were about to leave, Susan subtly asked us to stay the night. Melody, throughout these years, we did wrong. In the future, Mommy won't see you much. Susan spoke with genuine emotions, and her eyes showed guilt towards me. I couldn't bear to refuse. Okay, Jason and I will stay the night. Anna, with an innocent smile, said, Melody, Mommy already prepared a room for Jason. Why not stay and sleep with Mommy tonight? I frowned, feeling something wasn't right. Jason raised an eyebrow, surprisingly accepting on my behalf. All right, we'll stay. I looked at him, and he squeezed my hand, giving me a reassuring look. That night, Susan prepared the bed while chatting. In the future, try to come back more often if you can. I responded while also texting Jason. Why did you agree to stay? I chuckled softly, you didn't have to accommodate me. Jason replied, Melody, do you really believe your family has changed? No, I typed, watching Susan busily preparing. The relationship that's distant for decades can't change overnight. Jason texted back, then let's end it tonight. From now on, you come home with me and never owe your parents anything again. Susan said while fixing the bed, Melody, you sleep first. I'll get another blanket. I stayed in the room, listening to the ticking of the clock on the wall. After a while, footsteps approached without turning. I said, couldn't hold back anymore? You knew? As expected, it was Louis's voice. Louis walked closer, sitting on the sofa next to me, eyes deep set on me. The room was dark. Louis sat nearby, and in the quiet room, he slowly said, Melody, you shouldn't have come back. You still softened towards your parents. I held my phone, the screen lighting up and then going dark. A while passed without a message back from Jason. Louis's long fingers tapped the chair back, seemingly waiting for something. I frowned. Did my parents send you? No, Anna did. Louis replied candidly. Anna wants to see if Jason would still love you if he found you and me together. My hand froze, holding the phone. Jason still hadn't replied. I stood up abruptly, knocking over the chair. In the dark room, it made a piercing sound. Louis leisurely looked at me. Nervous? I stayed calm for a few seconds, my mind racing. No, Jason trusts me. He knows I wouldn't do such a thing. Really? Louis's voice was calculating. Should we bet on it? I looked at him. Bet on what? He got up and stared at the clock on the wall. Let's bet if, drugged, Jason would touch Anna or not. My mind felt like it exploded. I rushed out, but Louis blocked me. Melody, if Jason does anything with Anna, you'll be done for. I gritted my teeth and slapped Louis hard. Such a drama for you all to act out. Act? Louis's expression didn't change. You know, whether or not Jason touches Anna, it benefits me. Louis calmly continued, Jason despises his dad for cheating. If he really does something with Anna, it'll torment him. And secondly, he gently pinched my jaw. Melody, without Jason, I can help you too. I was shaking with rage, my chest heaving with fury. I never hated Louis so much. Jason. My sweet Jason. I whispered. Louis, let go. I pounded Louis, but the difference in strength was immense. I couldn't budge him. A loud crash came from Jason's room. My mind snapped. If anything happened to Jason, I didn't know what I'd do. Thinking that, I bit down hard on Louis's arm. The taste of blood filled my mouth, but Louis didn't move. A twisted smile crept onto his lips. Hatred, at least, was better than being ignored. I used all my strength to hit and punch Louis, despairingly glancing towards Jason's room. I'm sorry. If I had known, I wouldn't have brought you here. If it wasn't for my lingering hope in my parents, Jason wouldn't be in this mess. He hated his dad so much. He changed for me. He even agreed to go back to that house. And me? What have I done? I hate you all forever. I shoved Louis away, stumbling backward. I have to find Jason. I can't bear seeing him hurt because of me. The window was behind me, and Louis was holding me back. Then I'll jump. If I jump out of the window, I can go save Jason. Louis seemed to realize my intentions. Fear crossed his usually calm face. Melody, you've gone mad. I won't just stand by and watch you hurt Jason. I grabbed the window frame, hatred almost burning away my sanity. I wanted to destroy the whole Smith family. Louis, you saved me once. You said that being weak was enabling evil. I mistook gratitude for love. Again and again, you used me, abandoned me. It's my stupidity. It's my mistake. But now you want to hurt the one I love most. I hate you. From now on, I have nothing to do with the Smiths. I wish I could go back 6 years. I screamed wildly. Louis, I wish I had never met you. Louis's expression turned cold and crazed. He clenched his fist and punched the wall behind him. Blood trickled from his fingertips as he approached me, pain etched in his eyes. His voice was hoarse, don't jump. I promise, I'll save Jason. Just come down. No, you won't. I'll never trust you again. I held the window, ready to leap. A voice suddenly called out, Melody, I'm here. I looked up abruptly. Jason was holding a knife, his face pale. Blood was streaming from his thigh. I jumped down immediately, shoving Louis aside as I ran towards him. Jason could barely stand, losing too much blood. He dropped the knife and hugged me. I almost lost myself. Anna emerged behind him, also covered in blood. William and Susan were nowhere to be seen. I held Jason tightly, tears streaming down. I'm so sorry. Let me take you to the hospital. Jason, please, you have to be okay. Jason wiped my tears away. Don't cry. Smile for me. I almost teared up from those ugly women just now. Give me a smile, Melody. Brighten my eyes. He spoke lightly. I pressed on his thigh wound, blood gushing out uncontrollably. Why are you so foolish? Why? I sobbed uncontrollably, forcing myself to calm down and call an ambulance. Jason leaned against me, looking exhausted. There was something in the water they gave me. Melody, I saved a sample. We can report them. You'll never be bullied by them again. I need to get you to a hospital. The ambulance was taking too long. I struggled to lift Jason. Anna blocked my way. Melody, you can't call the police, I was just testing him. Get lost. I kicked Anna away. You forced me to this. I'll never show mercy again. Anna fell to the ground. Susan, who hadn't appeared for a long time, rushed out and helped her up. Melody, what are you doing? Enough. I covered Jason's wound, smiling bitterly. What do I have to do to break ties with you? Why do I have to share the same blood with you? I shouted at Susan with resentment. I never blamed you for not raising me. But why? Why do this to me? Susan was stunned, confusion clouding her face. It was just. Anna wanted to see if Jason was sincere with you. Why are you so angry? No. Enough. I will never step into the Smith house again, Susan. Pretend I was never your daughter. Supporting Jason, I moved forward. Louis blocked my path again. Melody. Hatred filled my eyes. Louis, you better pray Jason will be alright, or I will never forgive you. Stop crying. Jason leaned back in the chair, exhausted but still comforting me. Just a flesh wound, really no, don't talk. My tears wouldn't stop. It was my weakness that led to this. If I had cut ties with them earlier, this wouldn't have happened. Jason's wound had stopped bleeding, but his face was pale from blood loss. He frowned at my words. From what your mom said, she didn't know about the drugging. Whether she knew or not, they will pay. I wiped my tears, stepping on the gas, rushing Jason to the hospital. The doctor treated Jason's wound, the smell of blood filling the room. Seeing the severity of the wound, I held Jason's hand heartbroken. My tears flowed non-stop. Jason sighed. It's really nothing. I did it myself. I knew what I was doing. The doctor was surprised, treating his wound as he made the conclusion, you really don't care about yourself. Hearing the doctor, my tears fell even harder. Jason could only beg, Doctor, can't you say something nicer? Look at how scared you made my wife. The doctor finished bandaging Jason and took some blood samples for testing. Jason had been drugged, so they needed to check the blood. He drew 3 vials, glanced at me. Your wife sure cares about you. Be happy about that. Jason's warm fingertip wiped my tears. I don't want her to worry about me. It's killing me. His handsome face was ghostly pale. I was already heartbroken, and seeing him like this made it worse. If you cry more, my heart will completely shatter for you. I'm sorry. I kept saying it, causing Jason to take a sharp breath. Did I hurt your wound? I asked, concerned. He smiled weakly. The doctor treated his wounds, while assuring me gently. Take it easy, we'll take care of him. The doctor slowed down his movements and had the nurse give Jason an 4. Alright, it's just a minor injury. Little girl, don't cry. I nodded. After the doctor left, I sat by Jason's bed. Feeling better? Seeing his pale face, my guilt deepened. Jason closed his eyes and pressed his face into my palm. I just want to sleep for a bit. Okay, you sleep. I'll stay with you. Jason fell into a deep sleep. I got up and walked to the door, wiping my tears as I picked up my phone and dialed a number. Hello, I'd like to report a crime. Half an hour later, Louis's door lock code was still the same. I entered the code and walked in. He stood under the moonlight, looking at me with deep eyes. His wound wasn't treated, the blood had dried. It was quiet all around, no usual patrols. It was as if he knew I was coming and had sent everyone away beforehand. Louis. I stood in front of him, holding the knife stained with Jason's blood. Louis raised his eyes to look at me. The cold moonlight fell on him. Lonely, like a solitary figure. You're here to avenge Jason? He smiled bitterly at me. In such a short time, you've fallen for him? I gripped the knife tightly, my tone sarcastic. For a long time, you didn't love me either, right? His pupils suddenly contracted, and his eyes betrayed pain. His voice was rough. People can't always avoid mistakes. I'm not a god. I know I was wrong. He took a step closer. Melody, can you forgive me once? Too late. As he drew near, I stabbed him in the chest without hesitation. He didn't dodge. Instead, he looked at me with deep affection, his bloody hand touching my cheek. Melody, I failed at love. I was raised to be a money-making machine. His hand fell. I've lost you. Jason stayed in the hospital for half a month. I spent each day figuring out various nourishing soups to make for him. He kept clamoring to be discharged. Baby, I'm really fine now. Look, I can jump and run. He spun around and then ran to pick me up. I can even carry you. I gasped, Jason, don't move. Jason pressed his cheek to mine. I need to work to support you. I'm really fine now. No way. You have to be completely recovered before you can leave. I opened the lunchbox and served him chicken soup. Jason indulged me. All right, having a caring wife is a good thing. He took the chicken soup from me and drank it spoon by spoon. The hospital's LCD screen was displaying the latest news. The chairman's wife of Smith's group was sentenced to prison for illegal harm half a month ago. Jason's blood test showed abnormalities, and the preserved evidence had Anna's and Susan's fingerprints. But neither William nor Susan knew about Anna drugging him. So, I took Anna to court. Susan came to plead with me to forgive Anna. I revealed the truth, and instead of blaming Anna, Susan slapped herself. It's my fault. I didn't raise Anna properly. Then she took the blame for Anna. And today, the verdict was out. As I heard the news, Jason put down the soup, holding my hand. Are you okay? I'm fine. I turned off the TV, not wanting to see Susan's haggard appearance. Jason patted my hand, and before he could speak, the door was pushed open. William, looking equally haggard, stood in front of me. Melody, do you really want your mom to go to jail? William looked haggard, lacking his usual authoritative demeanor as chairman. His hair was gray, and he seemed 10 years older. Your mother and I spoiled Anna, which hurt you. That's our fault. But your mother is old now, if she stays in jail any longer. Jason frowned, wanting to protect me. I signaled him to finish his soup. Then I turned to William. If you really think Anna did wrong, let her go to jail. Why come to me? William clutched his chest, gasping for breath. His health had been deteriorating for over half a year. These days of stress made it worse. He coughed violently, needing to hold onto the doorframe to stand. He looked at me. Melody, Dad is begging you. Your mother can't go to jail. Dad. I looked up, my face expressionless. You have a health check every year. A few years ago, you had a kidney problem, right? William seemed puzzled by my question but nodded. I'm old. Health issues are normal. You need a kidney transplant. Managing the Smiths these days, I've learned all about the company inside out. William was unfit to run the company because of his health issues. Otherwise, he would not have paved the way for Anna so early. William looked at me, his aging eyes filled with confusion. I cleaned up Jason's soup bowl. Aren't you partial to Anna? If Anna agrees to donate her kidney, I won't pursue the matter of you drugging Jason. William was stunned. I smiled. Just a kidney. Do you think your beloved daughter will agree? Susan's case was up for appeal. The board meeting was about to be held, and Jason was discharged. Still, no clear news from William's side. Today, we would know if Anna agreed to the transplant. Before the board meeting, Jason drove me to the office. I wore a professional suit, looking sharp and efficient. Jason had one hand on the steering wheel, eyeing me. Want me to go with you? No need. I applied a strong red lipstick, turning to Jason. How do I look? Jason's dark eyes flickered, his Adam's apple bobbing. Baby, you in this suit. His voice was hoarse. I just want to hide you away so no one else can see you. I pursed my red lips and leaned close to him, my breath brushing against his ear. Jason, wait for me to come back tonight. He froze, his eyes flashing with a dangerous light. Trying to tease me? Blushing, I moved away from his ear and tucked my hair behind it. He sighed, pointing to somewhere. When you come back victorious, don't just tease and not take responsibility. Then he gently squeezed my palm. I'll be here waiting for you. Okay. I pushed open the car door. Joy had been waiting for me at the company entrance. She waved at me, and I walked toward her confidently. William sat in the main seat, looking even more haggard with a face full of troubled worry. Anna sat beside him, twirling a pen in her hand, looking completely at ease. The other directors were all seated. Joy opened her laptop, projecting the prepared PowerPoint presentation. Anna glanced at me, mouthing, "Do a good job, you won't regret it." I discreetly looked away and began analyzing the current crisis, including future prospects. After the report, Anna was the first to applaud. "Well done." Then she stood up and looked at everyone. "Today, I called you all here not just for a performance report but also to announce something important." Anna looked expectantly at William. "Dad, you say it." William's aged face was full of wrinkles. He coughed twice before speaking. "Dear shareholders, due to my health, the company will officially be handed over to Melody." I froze with the laser pointer in hand. Anna was equally shocked, her confident smile stiffening. "Dad, what did you say?" William made the final call. "We've all seen Melody's capabilities. I believe the company will be better off in her hands." The other directors applauded and congratulated me. Melody becoming the new director was indeed well-deserved. Amid the rising congratulations, I quietly looked at William. William waved his hand. "Say a few words, cough 3 times, I'm old now. The future is yours." The board meeting concluded. Anna slumped into her seat, devastated. "Dad, didn't you say you were giving the company to me?" William's coughing grew more intense. Anna didn't care about his health and began questioning him. I sat at my seat, watching the two of them. Anna cried and wailed, unwilling to accept that I was taking over the company. I lightly tapped the table, looking at the elderly father. "So in the end, you didn't even ask Anna, did you? You want me to feel guilty and spare Mom?" William held his waist. "Your sister is in poor health, I can't." My tapping stopped, and even Joy, who was packing up, looked incredulous. Joy knew William needed a kidney transplant. And what William left unsaid was quite clear. The room fell into a deathly silence. I thought my heart was already scarred enough that nothing could hurt me more. But I didn't expect, in the last moment, William still stabbed me in the heart. Anna slammed her hand on the table. "I won't accept this. The company is mine. How can you give it to Melody? I'm the daughter you've raised. Didn't you say you'd give the company to me? How can you go back on your word?" William looked at Anna, his eyes complex. Anna seemed to go mad. "The company is mine. Why give it to her?" "Anna." I interrupted Anna's craziness. "Do you really want the company?" Anna gritted her teeth. "Don't think you've won. Until the last moment, it's still mine." My eyes grew cold. "Everything will be resolved today." "Anna, do you know Dad has kidney disease?" Anna was stunned but showed no concern. Instead, she was cruel. "So what? What does that have to do with me?" She pointed at William. "You gave the company to Melody. You deserve it." William didn't expect Anna to be so agitated without the company and struggled to catch his breath. How pitiful, how laughable. Unable to breathe, William passed out. Joy quickly called for help, sending William to the hospital. Anna showed no concern, instead snorting. "Dead would be better." Holding the unissued documents, I quietly listened to Anna's madness. Anna suddenly stood and watched as William was taken away. She exaggeratedly smiled at me. "These parents, they already had me and still wanted to bring you back. Wasn't I good enough for them? Why did they need you? Why did they need you? Anna pounded the table. She then glared at me viciously. Melody. If you weren't here, the company would be mine. Louis would be mine too. Why did you come back? Why did Mom and Dad bring you back? If you die, I'll be free. She suddenly lunged at me. I stepped back. A chair crashed into Anna's back. Jason stood there, face cold like a dark deity. Try touching her. Anna deflated like a punctured balloon, slumping to the ground, laughing and crying. Finally, she cried her heart out. Jason walked over to me, looking worried. Are you okay? I shook my head at him. Jason called the police, and they took Anna away. The charge of intentional harm would bring her a lot of trouble. Before the police took Anna away, I called out to her, Anna, do you know why William changed his mind and gave the company to me? Anna's face was full of hate. Looking at her, I spoke slowly. He needs a kidney transplant. He couldn't bear to ask you. He wanted to give the company to me, hoping that while I bear the risks, I'd also show leniency to you. I laughed again and said, you lost all your love by yourself. Is the company really that important? Anna's face turned ashen in an instant. Words can be more hurtful than killing. If she had any conscience, she would live in regret for the rest of her life. Jason wrapped his arm around my shoulders, his eyes full of heartbreak. Anna confessed, and William was hospitalized. When I went to see William, he had tubes connected to him and was suffering from pain. He looked at me with his aged and dull eyes. I told him everything that had happened over the past few days, bit by bit. Your precious daughter still ended up in jail. William's eyelid twitched. I continued, you don't have to use the company's ethics to bind May. Placed a document on his pillow. Dad, the company has long been mine. During the crisis, I quietly made a move. I bought up shares at a high price, plus the portion Jason gave me. I held the most shares. Meaning, even without William, the company was mine. I expressionlessly put my hand on William's oxygen mask. His eyes widened. I continued slowly, I won't give you a kidney, but I also won't abandon you. Spend the rest of your time in the hospital, and watch Anna suffer. I withdrew my hand. You brought all this upon yourselves. Jason was waiting for me outside the ward. When I came out, I was exhausted like I just fought a battle. He put his arm around my shoulder. You okay? I felt a wave of emptiness, leaning into his embrace. Jason, was I too ruthless? Jason gently patted my back and softly asked, feeling soft? I snuggled into his chest like a kitten. No. But after all, there are blood ties. Jason scooped me up in his arms, his deep voice tinged with coldness. Not making a move against them is my greatest mercy. 3 months later, the company was back on track. I was busy running between the company and home every day. Jason had brought my adoptive parents over, and Eric came to City A for a vacation after his college entrance exams. He even brought his girlfriend, and their affection made everyone exclaim how overwhelming it was. Jason sighed in front of me every day, baby, we can't be outdone by your brother. I was handling my work when Jason got close to me, can we snuggle? I'm busy. I quickly flipped through the documents. I'll be off for 6 months later. There's a lot of work now, so bear with it. Jason propped his chin with one hand, staring at me intensely. You'll be off later? Are we going on a honeymoon? My hand paused while signing. I looked up at Jason. Well. Jason kept staring at me, filled with endless fantasies. Or did you finally agree to have a wedding? We only got the certificate, you haven't officially announced it. Well. I put away my pen and looked at him apologetically. The wedding and honeymoon might have to wait. I have something else. Jason immediately stood up straight. What is it? Are you running away with some other guy? It could be a guy, or it could be a girl. Jason narrowed his eyes dangerously, oozing jealousy. Baby, I'll give you a chance to rephrase that. Jason. I put down the document, took out a medical report from my bag, and handed it to him. I need to take care of our baby. In his shocked expression, I pouted. And you're still being mean to me. Epilogue, Jason has known Melody for as long as Melody has liked Lewis. The day Jason was 16, he kicked his dad's mistress down the stairs and got beaten up, ending up in the hospital for 3 months. Lying next to him was Melody. Melody had just arrived at the Smith's place. She ate something from Anna and got a severe stomach ache. No one came to see her, but she kept quiet, silently getting her 4 drips and shots. Jason had been observing her for days. Even the nurses would occasionally grumble, saying how cruel Melody's parents were for not visiting her. But Melody was always well-behaved and never made a fuss. One day, Jason couldn't resist. He wanted to see how much Melody could endure. So he said to her, "I saw your parents buying clothes for your sister the day before I got admitted. Aren't you mad?" Melody was doing her homework. She paused for a moment but didn't react otherwise. Jason, with his leg in a cast, sneered, "Coward. They're your parents, yet you don't dare to fight back when they're unfair to you." Melody said nothing. She pressed the call button to get a nurse to change her for. Then, in a sweet, soft voice, she asked the nurse when she could leave the hospital. She was so considerate that even the nurse couldn't help but feel pity for her and gently touched her hair, saying she could leave after another 4 session. The next day Melody nodded and lay back quietly. Jason continued to provoke her. "I heard you're the long-lost daughter of the Smiths. Aren't you angry your parents treat you like this? Don't you want to cause a scene?" In a city, news about the few wealthy families traveled fast. Melody finally reacted. She looked at the good-looking but very talkative boy in front of her and asked, "Have your parents visited you at all since you've been here?" Jason was momentarily stunned. Hospitals hadn't been quiet since he was admitted. Refusing to cooperate with doctors was a daily occurrence. He retorted, "I don't need them to visit me. I don't need a family like that. He dares to find me a stepmother, and I'll make his life miserable forever." Melody looked up, her high ponytail making her face look even smaller. She stared at Jason. Annoyed, Jason said, "What are you looking at? Are you feeling sorry for me too?" He raised the pillow next to him, about to throw it at her, but Melody wasn't scared at all. She turned away calmly and said, "If I were you, I would cooperate with treatment. I wouldn't punish myself for others' mistakes. I would seize every opportunity to climb up. If your dad is bad to you, you should be even better so he regrets it, and then you can reject him." That was the first time Melody said so much to him. Jason put the pillow down. "Like you know so much. Have you ever made your parents regret anything?" Melody ignored him and left the hospital the next day. Jason was furious. How could a fellow patient just leave without a word? They met again a month later at the opening ceremony of a city's elite school. Jason skipped the ceremony and was loafing on a deserted balcony. Nearby, he overheard a group of students talking. "Did you hear? The Smith's eldest daughter is back. But what about Anna then? Don't mention it, Anna is furious, but this Melody is amazing. Her parents weren't even going to let her study here, but she kept so quiet and well-behaved after coming to the Smiths that they felt guilty and paid for her tuition here. She's pretty smart. I heard she got sick from something Anna gave her. Who knows, maybe it was an act." Laughing, the group walked away. Jason lowered the book covering his face and saw Melody standing nearby, having heard everything. He looked at her, but she ignored him. Jason, with his pride, thought, "If you ignore me, I'll ignore you. Maybe if you talk to me, I'd even help teach those gossipers a lesson." But Melody walked away expressionlessly. Jason held a grudge and vowed never to speak to her again. But a month later, they crossed paths once more. Jason handed in a blank test and was called to the office to call his parents. Melody was there too, being praised for her top scores in the first exam of the school year. Jason wanted to congratulate her, but Melody didn't recognize him. She bowed politely to the teacher and left. Jason then got scolded for half an hour. He nonchalantly cleaned his ear and said, "My dad won't come. Want me to call my nanny?" The teacher, exasperated, said, "Look at Melody from the other class. Learn from her." Jason shrugged indifferently. Fast forward to sophomore year. At 17, Melody won a major dance competition while Jason continued to stray off course. He and his buddies planned to sneak out of school to play video games but got caught by the dean and fled to Melody's dance practice room. They hid from the dean and watched Melody dance. One of his friends doubted Melody, saying, "Anna is cast as the lead in the school play. Melody probably can't compete. Anna has been dancing for years." Jason said nothing but nudged his friend, making him yelp. Jason quickly covered his mouth. "Shut up, or we'll get caught." So, they watched Melody practice over there. She kept falling but stood back up each time. They had no idea how many times she fell, but she just kept going, without making a sound. Jason hid behind the curtains, his heart racing for the first time. When it came time to vote for the talent show, he voted for Melody quietly. It was the first time he stayed. He stood at the farthest corner of the stage and saw that one lonely vote for Melody and thought, "This is nice too." To him, she was a hidden gem that only he knew about. Later, he quietly supported Melody, watching her go from being underestimated to becoming outstanding, outshining everyone else. He saw her turn a bad hand into something remarkable. It impressed him. As the college entrance exams approached, Jason stayed the same rebellious guy. He continued gaming, skipping classes. The only thing that caught his attention was Melody. Sometimes he wondered why he cared so much about Melody. But since they left the hospital, they hadn't spoken a word. Jason figured it was probably because of their connection from the hospital. With 3 months left until exams, Jason saw Melody in the office again. Melody was so stubborn, she wanted to go into dance through a special talent route. She was bright academically, and teachers thought it was a waste for her to focus on dance. They tried persuading her, but she simply said she loved dancing too much to let it go. Since living with her adoptive parents, she'd secretly watched others dance and learned on her own. When she got to the Smiths, she grabbed the chance and never let go. She climbed step by step from a poor village girl to a true Smiths young lady. Watching from afar, Jason suddenly felt his life was meaningless. He saw Melody persuade the teachers to let her use the school's dance room outside of class time. After she left, Jason lifted his head from the teacher's lengthy pep talk. 3 months left. Could his brains pull it off? Jason considered turning things around. The teachers got super excited. They said the school and his dad would give him every good resource if he'd just take it seriously. Jason hesitated, then agreed to give it a shot. He hadn't properly taken a test since starting high school. But honestly, he could grasp those concepts if he really studied hard. After all, before falling out with his grandpa, he did get elite education from the family. But cramming 3 years' worth of knowledge into 3 months was rough. Whenever he was close to puking from studying, Jason would sneak to the study hall opposite Melody's dance room to watch her dance. Melody looked so graceful dancing. Sometimes, watching her made his mouth go dry and his face flush. One time, he even dreamed about her. The day after dreaming of her, he skipped studying all day and sat outside the empty dance room. He decided then, if he scored well on the exams, he'd confess to Melody. But only if he scored well. So, Jason worked harder. He used every resource he could. He didn't care about the old man anymore. He just wanted to do it right. Finally, he got a decent score after the exams. His grandpa was thrilled and gave him a big reward. Jason ignored it and went straight to school to find Melody. He found out Melody did well too and got into the art school she wanted. He wanted to confess, to follow her wherever she went. But when Jason found Melody, he saw her confessing to Louis. Jason heard his heart break but felt a bit relieved. At least Louis didn't accept her confession. But Jason forgot how stubborn Melody was. She'd never give up. Louis explained that at first, he thought Anna might be the lost Smith daughter, and a DNA test confirmed she was. And there was a long-time engagement between the Smiths' young lady and Louis. That shattered Jason's heart completely. His first love ended before it even began. He drank with his boys to blow off steam from the exams, got drunk for 2 days, and then learned that Melody gave up dancing for finance to be with Louis. Jason felt both heartache and frustration, but what could he do? She must like Louis a lot to give up something she loved so much. Jason laughed bitterly. He acted more reckless and flamboyant but didn't entirely give up on himself. He broke away from his grandpa to start his own video game company, racing and gaming, always defying his father. He thought this was how his life would go until he met Melody again. He had once let her have a jade at an auction. Seeing her and Louis in the next room while drinking with friends, he assumed Louis would treat her well since she was so amazing. But no. Louis ignored Melody, even when greasy old men harassed her. Louis just left her there. Jason watched with a cold smile. What was this? The girl he adored but couldn't have was being disregarded? Drunk, he found an excuse to beat up the greasy old man, paying a huge sum afterward. After the beating, he wanted to let go too. Why hold on if she only liked Louis? Letting go would free himself. Melody didn't even know him anyway, but why did he keep running into Melody again? He started running into Melody a lot, at his dad's birthday party, at auctions, at negotiation tables. By pure chance, he saw all the unexpected sides of her. But he didn't even have the right to know her. Jason sometimes wondered if God was just messing with him. The person he couldn't have kept appearing in front of him. He wanted to casually talk to her, to leave no regrets, but she was always with Louis. One day, their families planned a huge engagement party that shook the entire city. Jason drank himself silly at a bar. It was really the last time he'd think about her. But then he saw Melody at the bar. Melody was drinking with colleagues, looking unhappy. He overheard her say she was getting engaged but felt incredibly anxious. Her colleague said it was pre-engagement jitters. She shook her head sadly. I feel like his heart isn't with me. Will he settle down once we're engaged? Then she and her colleagues got up to leave the bar. As she walked by, Jason, almost out of instinct, grabbed her hand. Can we be friends? He slurred, his eyes hazy under the lights. Let's just say he was drunk. She looked at him like she recognized him for the first time. You are. Before she could finish, her friend pulled her away. Come on, let's go. It's not good to mess with him. And she was gone. Jason let his hand drop, her warmth still lingering on his palm. She was really getting engaged. At the engagement party, he gave a big gift but couldn't resist showing up. What he saw blew his mind. She looked bullied and could only endure it. He couldn't stand it and stepped in to help her. She and Louis were finally done. Jason was ecstatic, so much that he almost went crazy. Every day, he found reasons to be with her, joke with her, tease her. Melody was initially confused. Jason, aren't you busy? She'd ask. He'd just grin. I'm a rich kid, my daily task is to make pretty girls happy. Melody said nothing, still politely declining his advances. He didn't give up. He pursued her every day, sending flowers, gifts she liked. Whenever someone mocked or bullied her, he'd fight back. He was terrified she might think of Louis again. Every second, he wanted to be by her side. Eventually, she became less distant, but still rejected him. Jason felt a bit dejected. Do you still like Louis? For the first time, she looked confused. I don't even know myself, is that really love? She was unsure now, beginning to doubt herself. Jason was thrilled. He couldn't resist hugging her. Your love for Louis isn't love. Love shouldn't be humble or self-deprecating. Melody, love should be like mine, treating you like a queen. Melody blushed and pushed him away. Jason, don't get carried away. He released her, sighing inwardly. Why is it so hard to win a woman's heart? Later, she got sick, and he stuck around shamelessly. But when he let his guard down, Louis reappeared. Jason was terrified. He feared Melody would go back to Louis. But she promised she wouldn't. She indeed didn't go back to Louis, but she also didn't want Jason. She repaid all the medical bills she owed him and disappeared completely. Jason asked around everywhere, trying to find Melody. He only found out from a colleague with a baby face that Melody had gone back to her hometown. Jason lit a cigarette and decided to drive to find her. He told himself this was the last time. It's not about being impatient, but after doing so much, if she still didn't like him, he'd stop bothering her. He smoked for a long time under her building, saw her walking with a guy, laughing and chatting. That was the first time she smiled so happily in days. Jason's heart ached so much he could hardly breathe. The cigarette burned his hand. He threw it away, asked if she was happy. She said she was. He turned and left without looking back. This was really the last time. He drove around, feeling terrible, really terrible. Why wouldn't Melody look at him after all this? He thought it was over this time, no more future after this. But Melody called, explained things to him. Listening, it felt like fireworks exploding in his heart. But he stayed calm. He knew this time, Melody needed to understand her own heart. He asked her why she did it, she was too confused to answer. He didn't push her, sighed, accepted it as it was. Even just this, he was satisfied. She didn't understand love. He would teach her. Finally, they were together. She went back to the Smiths, cleaning up the mess there. He wanted to help her, but she wouldn't take a direct handout. So he let her do it herself. She had prepared for the worst, that she might not save the Smiths. But she did well, grew through the challenges. When she felt tired, she'd act coy with him. He felt bad but never said to let it go. He returned home and helped her secretly. His Melody was strong yet delicate. He wanted to give her everything but didn't want her to feel reliant on him, and she really made it, achieving her goals with her own ability. He was genuinely proud and happy for her. But there was one downside: she became more dazzling and capable, like a blooming rose in the business world, wild and beautiful with thorns. Many men wanted to get close to her. He couldn't let that happen. So he started planning a grand wedding. He wanted his Melody to do whatever she liked. She deserved the best in the world, so dazzling that those who bullied her would regret it. But he didn't expect that his Melody would get pregnant first. Jason was over the moon. The wedding couldn't happen right away, but there had to be an engagement ceremony. He rented out the biggest amusement park in a city, spent the whole day with her, and proposed when it was over. She covered her mouth, laughed, and then cried. Jason felt heartbroken, so he stopped proposing and started kissing her tears away. "If you really don't want a wedding, then we won't have one, Melody. I don't want to see you cry." She returned his kiss. "It's not that I don't want one. I really, really do." She held his hand, laughing and crying. "Where's the ring? Who proposes and then stops halfway?" He scrambled to find the ring, then placed it on her finger with reverence. At last, she married him. Years and years later, Leo and Coco had grown up, and Melody was still pampered by Jason like a daughter. Often, if Coco got something, Melody would get one too. But not Leo. He could only watch. Because Melody had a massive hemorrhage while giving birth to Leo and almost died. So their parenting philosophy was, the world is big, but Mom is the biggest. Sometimes Leo wasn't happy and asked Jason, "Dad, aren't I your only son? Don't I carry your last name?" Jason was peeling shrimp for Melody and didn't even lift his head. "My wife is my only wife. When you have a wife, will you take me out when you go out? Will you peel shrimp for me?" Leo was stunned for 3 seconds and replied firmly, "Definitely not." Jason kicked him lightly. "Then what are you moaning about?" Leo rubbed his butt. "Then why are you peeling shrimp for my sister?" "Because your sister needs to be pampered so she won't be tricked by some jerk, just like how I treat your mom well so no other jerk will take her away." Leo pouted, "If you treat me better, no other woman will trick me either. Getting tricked is good, it's your blessing." Leo cried and swore he wouldn't want his dad anymore. Jason turned back and handed the shrimp to Melody. "As long as your mom wants me, I'm good." Leo clenched his tiny fists. Just you wait, Dad. When I grow up, I'll take Mom away from you so she won't want you anymore either. Jason raised an eyebrow, feeling rebellious. Huh? Leo seized the opportunity to hug Melody. Who told you not to give me shrimp? Fine, I'll peel for you. Jason said, taking off his disposable gloves, then picking up his son's butt and smacking it twice. You don't even have hair yet, and you want to take my wife? Leo cried loudly, while Coco clapped her chubby hands and blinked her big eyes. Melody laughed gently and pulled the aggrieved Leo close. Mommy is already married to Daddy, so I can't marry Leo. But if Leo ever meets a girl he likes, he should treat her well. Got it? Leo pouted. Got it, Mom. I'll treat her as good as Daddy treats you. Jason snorted, then turned and looked tenderly at Melody. No one can treat you as well as I do.